Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The Rainbow Six Premiership here in Leicester, UK, powered by Curry's PC. Sorry, Intel and gaming from Curry's PC, but I always mess that first phrase up.
You got there.
It's been a while since I've done Rainbow Six, obviously. I'm Scoundrel. I'm joined by Demo. I got told to do the hosting because apparently I'm better at it, but obviously I am not. So let's move on with the day. We have lots of exciting Premiership matches coming your way, and let's have a look at the schedule to get into this today. They are all the best of ones. Lots of the format has changed since the previous Premiership. I'm sure Demo will fill you in on all the details when we get closer to each of these games, but we'll start off with our first of the night, which is going to be Horizon versus Team Secret. It's then going to be Barrage versus Guidance. It's then going to be Unnamed versus the Vexed. Yeah, that logo just screws me over. Yeah. Unnamed versus Wind and Rain as well. I almost got there. I got 7 out of 8. Do you know what? I'll take that. So we've got a lot of good games lined up today. Demo, any of those that you're particularly looking forward to?
Certainly, I would like to see how Unnamed will definitely do in their next affair, because Unnamed, they did get the draw against Secret last week. Certainly a win in their books. So I'm curious to see if they can keep the momentum rolling, or will it be just a kind of one-hit wonder for them?
I'm very much looking forward to pretty much every game, because it's been a while since I've been involved in Rainbow Six, and last time it was the Xbox Premiership, and now we've moved over to the PC format here in the UK. I loved every second of being involved in the Xbox part of it, so hoping that the PC will be just as enticing. We have a little bit of a format explainer so you can see what's going on today, just in case you haven't been involved with the Premiership so far. 8 teams play in a best-of-1 round robin over 7 weeks, so lots of games to be played. Wins are worth 3 points, draws are worth 1. No overtime on any maps now. Draws can happen on an individual map. Top 2 teams qualify directly for the finals, and 3rd to 6th place teams play off for remaining 2 places at finals, where we'll have our 4 teams collected, have 2 semis and a final on the day. So lots and lots of Rainbow Six to be played over the course of this split. Lots of amazing new talent coming through on that PC scene as well, because as we have switched over from Xbox to PC, we have lost some talent, but we have gained a lot of new talent as well, including Team Secret, a Rainbow Six Pro League team who is gracing the UK Premiership with their presence. Demo, who has been the front runners for you so far? We've only had 1 week, I've only seen a little bit, but who's been the front runners so far?
Well, you always have to give Secret their dues. You just cannot ever really overlook them. They are the professional team, top 4 teams in the entire competitive scene at the moment. Certainly Vexed are up there as well, kind of, you know, runner-up kind of position. Certainly they have proven to be pretty deadly on the shots, but again, very, very early days. We'll have to see where it really does come down to, and certainly week 2 we might see that kind of fill out a little bit more.
Let's take a look at the group standings so far. You can see over on the left-hand side, Guidance at the top here with Vexed, both of those guys at 3 points with a single win under their belt. Barrage, Eminem, Team Secret, and Unnamed all taking a draw, so you get that single point. And Horizon and Wind and Rain taking the L down there at 0 points so far. But do remember, this is the second week of 7. So we still have plenty more Rainbow Six to play. A lot of these standings are going to be shaken up, and you notice that Team Secret and M&M both at 1 apiece. They actually drew, so Team Secret took a draw versus M&M coming into the first game of their Rainbow Six Premiership. So a little bit of an unexpected result, one might say, but maybe shows the strength of some of these more amateur teams in this scene. And actually, M&M take a bit of an L themselves, as they did lose their best player coming into the Rainbow Six Premiership. So I mean, I don't know what that was about.
Who's that? Who would that be?
Definitely wasn't you, was it?
Might have been. It's been a while.
It's been a while since we mentioned that one. I don't know how many times we're going to hear it today. So let's move on to talk about our first matchup of the day. It is going to be Team Secret versus Horizon. Now, I was chatting to Demo before this sort of broadcast started, and he said, look, I don't want to beat around the bush here. This is going to be a 6-0. and I think a lot of people probably coming into this are expecting a similar kind of outcome here.
Yeah, this is Team Secret. This is the pro team, the big dogs in the pen. Certainly, they did take that bit of a hit against M&M last week, but I would still say that Secret, they didn't really, you know, I would say, we'll use the word care, because straight after on Thursdays, they have their Pro League matches, so certainly that's what they're always going to look towards.
It's like warm-up time for them, isn't it?
This is pretty much their scrim practice against probably weaker teams you would expect as well. Horizon, definitely, I would say, one of the weakest teams that we have, just in terms of skill, not necessarily because they are all bad players, it's just compared to everybody else, they're not quite up to the level that they need to be, but they have had a week to prepare for Secret.
Yeah, they also qualified,
they knew who they were going to play.
Yeah, they also qualified, so they obviously on the day can play good enough to get themselves into a Premiership spot. I'm sure there are plenty of teams who may be higher ranked than these guys who didn't make it to Premiership because they couldn't handle the heat of the moment, and so Horizon could. So I don't think anybody is expecting Horizon to take the win here. It would be a massive upset if they did, the underdog story that we love to play. However, they can handle the big moments by just getting to the Premiership. They've shown that they can play in a contest format. Now we're very quickly heading towards the vetoes. Anything that you would expect straight off the bat just is gone here between these two teams.
Certainly for Horizon, I can see the more strat-heavy maps. So you're looking at Villa, Consulate potentially being eliminated straight away. Bank could also be another one. More than likely, we're kind of looking at maps like Oregon, like Border, like Coastline. But then again, those are maps that Secret are very dominant on, especially their Oregon. If Horizon want to have a go at playing Oregon, well, that will be a bit of a cause for caution, but no, it will be Border, which has been quite a big fan favourite map. It certainly can go both ways. It's really hard to determine who will take that, and I'm sure that we'll see a bit more from Horizon. Just speaking to them as well, just on Monday night, I know that they have prepped that and stratted that map specifically, but then again, you're going against Secret.
So a lot of maps have undergone changes. For those of you that might not have been up to date with the Rainbow Six changes over the last couple of months, just talk to us about how competitively some of these maps have changed. Bomb site locations, the operator changes that you see. Just run through the grand overview of how competitive Rainbow Six has changed the face of it since we last saw the Premiership.
Well, pretty much we have a complete new format, complete new system where we have 5 attacking rounds for whoever starts an attack, and then they will then switch onto the defense, vice versa for the defending team. And then we also have the new operator bans as well, which always are going to determine who we will see being played, what kind of strategies teams will have. If Glaz gets taken out, then those kind of Glaz strategies get eliminated straight away. You don't have that same kind of pushing potential that Glaz brings to the table. And then certainly to the new objective rotation parameter, where if you win 2 defensive bomb sites in a row, you will be forced to go to a 3rd one as well. So definitely it does kind of broaden that horizon for, no pun intended, for these teams where they have to go for these different bomb sites. You know, going for the bathroom and tellers or the custom certainly will have to be an option if a team wants to try and do well on the defense.
And has Border remained fairly similar? No changes to
no, not that I can really see. It's been just pretty much the same. Of course, operator bans dictate. If Mira gets taken out during that, then that kind of does shift things over.
And talk about the single operator switch that we can have coming through here. What is that? How does that influence tactics?
Well, of course we do have the the 6th pick where we see the reveal phase. Both teams can see exactly what 5 operators are there. they know at least 4 of them are going to be staying, but you don't really know what the other team are going to sick pick onto. Potentially you could try and bait and switch, pick a Montana and then sick pick off onto something else. Kind of gets that defending team prepared for something that they don't even have to prepare for.
Yeah.
It's just kind of that mind game mentality that we do see a lot in Siege.
So we are heading into our first game of the Premiership here on our second week, Team Secret versus Horizon. It looks like Horizon will be attacking first here. And then we'll have to see what these operator picks and bans end up being. Just waiting for everything to load through and we'll be able to see. But what are you expecting in terms of these sort of classic operator picks here? Glaz banned by Horizon Union, so they're going to ban Glaz straight up. Now Team Secret are going to get their second ban. I mean, a lot of people banning Lion as well right now as well, so that could be something that we see here from Team Secret.
Typically, Secret, they do favour the Glaz ban, but Horizon have done that for them. And Ying is actually going to be taken out of the picture. I would say, yeah, that's pretty normal as well. It's either going to be, in terms of your attacking bans, it's Glaz, Lion, or Ying. That's mostly the common ones we see. Certainly Lion being let free is a bit of an odd one for both teams. Maybe Secret have something up their sleeves because they do have a very capable player in the form of Lackey, who is a big fan of that operator. That's why sometimes we see teams ban that Lion against Secret, because Lion on that team works so well for them, and we've seen that being combo with, for example, a Jackal sometimes, a very nasty combo, Lion plus Jackal. That Secret they did bring out a couple of times during the Pro League, and then we do see Clash and Mira getting banned out as well. No surprise really in the bans. Fairly standard for Border.
So Lion already being hovered over here for Secret on the attacking phase. I was wrong. Secret are the attacking team first here. Thermite, which was 100% seen, I think, in the last week of the Premiership, will be coming through again. That hard entry that Thermite provides is always fantastic. Zafir, Capital, Buck, and Lion here for the attacking squad. Jaeger, Mute, Legion, Castle, and Echo for Horizon Union. When you see these attacking teams and these defending teams, what are you expecting in terms of tactical approaches here on this map?
Well, we will start off with a Bathroom and Tellers. Now, that is a very big, risky pick for Horizon. Sure, they want to get that one out of the way. Potentially may try and catch Secret by surprise. You're expecting the top floor of that Armory Lockers and Archives would be the main one, and then primarily the secondary would be the Ventilation Room and Workshop as well. 2
hatches you need to protect there on that second floor, otherwise you just give, especially with Buck, there's no way you can give over that kind of aerial kind of domination over those 2 bomb site areas. So, Bathroom and Tellers is going to be that first floor defense here coming out from Horizon Union, and so the best way to defend it, like you said, through archives and offices, that kind of area. But do you think Horizon have what it takes? Do you think Horizon have the ability to defend this against a team like Team Secret? What would Team Secret be doing in terms of giving themselves an opening space to get into this side of the map?
More than likely, we're expecting the very common E-stairs take coming out from Secret, where they simply blitz on in, open up that office wall, try and eliminate any of the defenders that may be upstairs, which we know there is going to be a few, or they could just go completely wild and try and take from the archive side. Does use a little bit more resources, certainly, but can get the jobs done in terms of fragging potential. Certainly, we're expecting to see that Lackey and the Lion come into big effect. Leon, he does have that, of course, those lifelines to open up some of these soft walls, and on a map like Border, where there is a lot of that soft destruction, that can be devastating on the side of the defense if they start getting these angles open that they're not going to be ready for from Leon. Then yeah, he might be able to get a couple of picks for himself and catch them by surprise.
Zafir trying to open up some of these soft walls here. Buck is on the east balcony trying to find a flanking position and again put pressure onto Horizon Union on this second floor right now, as Secret is doing his best just to give some kind of pressure. Horizon Union are just holding fast here. Got a couple of people lying down under this desk. There's the Thermite coming through. Thermite opens up a hard wall. Has now put Mayturns in a pretty awkward position. And there's already going to be the initial takedown, as that is going to be Secret getting their first frag of the game. Capital picking that one up. LMJ? I think that's
LMs.
LMs.
Or Brian. You can call him Brian as first name, by all means.
LMs is going to take the first kill of the game, and that is going to be the Echo going down. Pretty useful operator to lose on defense very early on here, Demo.
Yeah, Echo provides a lot of that utility. You can see the Echo Burst come in to a big effect during those later stages of the round, but Secret, they have spread out themselves entirely towards that lobby area and towards the tellers. You can see Stiz has also rotated, so they've opened up that triple wall. They've made the players of Horizon think that they're going to try and push upstairs, but in reality, it will be this lobby push that will be implemented. Lucky, he will get down underneath the castle barricade, and LMC swings on around and picks up that kill. Great cover from Elems. Excellent stuff. That might have been a wallbang kill potentially, I believe, tracking it as he did see him run past the doorway. Meatbeat and Leon have started to spread out in towards the top floor. Mayhems respond with a kill for Horizon onto Leon. He will fall, but automatically the refrag will come in. Another one for Ryan as well. So 40 seconds on the clock. This is going to be close.
Looks like Lackey going to try to put some pressure down here. He gets taken down, and suddenly Horizon Union put it to a 2-2. Elems comes through. He has been the hero of this round so far, and he needs to start the pressure as he takes out another member. That's going to be Secret. Meepy getting the kill. Actually, Crafty manages to trade back, but Elems, the absolute hero for Secret, clutches this one out. Did he get every single kill? He got at least 4 of those kills there.
I think he got a 3K.
He got 3. I
think so.
He looked so good that round.
No, I think it was a 4K. You're right. I
think it might have been a 4K. I'd have to double check. But
it is. 100% it is.
Yeah, there you go. So he's looked.
Oh, no, it's not. Hello?
It was Meepy got 2. However, he looked incredible, and I think really pulled Secret through on that particular round. What is it that Secret were trying to achieve there? You said they changed their strategy up a little bit. They went through lobby. Is that a more risky strategy to employ?
That's something that we don't see all too often. Typically, once you take control of that office area, then you just kind of work your way down through the drop patches, what have you. But certainly that's a bit of a weird one. They played to the advantage that they had that castle barricade over the lobby. So certainly it denied a lot of those angles that Horizon were trying to implement. But yeah, certainly good stuff from Secret. Very close down to a 1 versus 1. But nonetheless, the composure that Elems has provided for his team does give them the right foot going forward in the rest of this map.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Team Secret going to run with exactly the same composition on attack here. And now we have a change up in terms of bomb position as well. Looks like it is going to be an Archives Armory bomb position here.
Yeah. That's going to be the more common one that we typically see coming out from Border. Certainly that Bathroom and Tellers was a bit of a weird one to say. I liked what they're going to try and implement, try and potentially sneak an early round against Secret, but Team Secret definitely being well adapted, and like you said, taking the exact same lineup, which is very versatile on every single bomb site they'll play. So even if it is going to be events that they might have had to attack, then yeah, that would have worked. Even for the customs, it would have worked as well.
Look at the change-ups though. Horizon made some different changes in terms of bringing in something like Valkyrie. What do you think changes Horizon's defense here with what they've picked?
Well, more intel would be the big one for me. It's certainly going to be that more, I would say, C4 from below denial. As you can see, Rayazo, he is going to be bringing the Valkyrie, who can be very devastating on a potential C4 rotation and try and kill the planter whenever it comes in. But the way that Secret play, they do like to attack from below. First of all, try and clear out any potential Pulse or Valkyrie that may be lurking in the bottom floors, and then try and attempt to get Meatbeat or Leon in, use a bit of soft destruction that they both do have, and try and shake up some of these anchor positions. Buster, typically he's a guy who likes the shotguns, but no, he will be running the MP5 SD for this round, so definitely gives him more of that versatility in terms of fighting these longer range gunfights. But in that kind of position, very up close and personal, the shotgun would have done a bit of damage.
What's the Maestro bringing to the table here for Horizon?
Just intel. That's really it.
More intel. They're playing an intel heavy round here then for Horizon, taking it a little bit slower, trying to get as much as they can in terms of Secret's attack plans. And like you said, Secret right now seem to be securing that bottom floor, and then I'm going to look to work upwards towards that Archive Armory push. You can see on the east balcony here, Buck just looking for some kind of way to start pressuring. You can see Elems again just on this Capital, trying to find some wallbang, trying to find... Oh, an initial kill goes down. Mayturn's already knocked to the floor. That is going to be a first kill for Team Secret, and this is what they did last time. They got that man advantage, they rushed in, and they didn't respect some of the defensive capabilities of Horizon. But this time they might take it a little bit more slowly, a little bit more seriously as the frag grenade comes through. Good frag grenade! Crafty goes down. That was a nice bang.
Yeah, that was excellently placed by Meatbeat for that frag grenade, and also using the second one to eliminate that Maestro camera. Even though Maestro is dead, so we cannot maneuver that anymore, it still would have provided the intel, and here comes the smoke arrows to try and get Secret set up for this plant. That's exactly what will happen. The fire ones as well go out as Leon. He will pick up one, but then straight away Shattered with the response onto Leon. Good bit of teamwork there, having the refrags, but they have, in the midst of the chaos, Secret have planted the diffuser, so it's down to Shattered. And also just down to Shattered as Buster, he gets eliminated trying to go for the flank. MP5, or MP7 should I say, with no sight, going with the iron sights instead. Another E1D charge goes off as well. Shattered, all he can really do here is try and get a couple of kills, but yeah, this is going to be easily for Secret as they hold the angles. And Lamb's another kill for him on that. Capiteo does pick up the final one.
There we go. Easy set of frags coming in for Team Secret, and that felt like a very clinical execution onto Horizon, who struggled to defend that second floor as well as they did on that first floor defense. But again, because they haven't won anything yet, they still have pick of the litter in terms of where they want to defend next. And so Horizon will be maybe switching things up once more. And you can see, again, exactly the same lineup for Team Secret. Why would you change it if it isn't broken? And then Jaeger, Mute, Bandit, Castle, and Echo. So things shifting time and time again for Horizon until they find that right recipe for success. Right now, their concoctions haven't quite worked out. But let's hope that this is the elixir that they need to put themselves in the driving seat.
Yeah, they're seeming a bit shaken, not so much stirred in this scenario, but yeah, Bathroom Tellers is where they're going to be headed once again. Last time, it was a bit of a hit or miss there. It did come down to a 1v1 in the end, but I wouldn't really say Secret struggled with it as much as they needed to. They had the refrags there whenever it had to happen. Certainly, I'm sure Horizon will try and change things up, trying to potentially do some things that they did wrong last time. Certainly, they did not really have that same upstairs presence that I think they should have had. They didn't really take the aggression. They just let Secret walk on in and really take what they wanted from them. Again, those castle barricades will be very strong in trying to deny some of the potential angles that these players of Secret will try and use and abuse. But as we can see, Leon still bringing that Sophia, has those lifelines, opening up some of those angles. Potentially those castle barricades could be nullified, which I'm sure that probably will be the case. But yeah, Secret, I'm sure they'll be ready for this once again, just like they were inside of the first round.
Again, this 5 attacking round allows you to consistently look to monitor the way that your opponent defends. It gives the defender some time to react as well and work on their defense as they end up losing one like we've seen Horizon do. And again, a lot of work to be done if they are indeed going to find this defense versus Team Secret. Arguably the best team that we have in the league right now because of that Pro League experience. And you can really see it with the way that they handle it. Team Secret already found their way in here, just trying to clear some of these barricades out on the doors.
There is one thing that Horizon have switched up, and that's where they're actually going to rotate Shattered in and try and potentially bandit trick the majority off that triple wall, which is exactly where Secret are going to try and establish that bit of dominance in. You can see Meatbee chucks those frag grenades over the top of that wall, which you can actually sneak a couple of frag grenades in, and just because of that distraction, it has meant that Shattered has to fall back, and the wall has been opened up.
Crafty now. Defense is a bit more solid from Horizon. They haven't lost anybody early on here, and Secret are having to plan that much more just to find their way in onto this bomb site against Horizon Union. Shots coming through. Echo holding fast, not scared by those shots raining in over his head. Just waited to hold that choke point there over the window, but doesn't quite catch the edge. You can see the drone from Lackey there, just trying to jump over and get some info. I think it did pick up the position on Buster, so they do know where he is, I believe. Yeah,
that's going to be the quick peek from Lambs. Great bit of intel from Lackey there on the drones. I'm quite surprised that Buster actually managed to stay there. It's such an unusual position, and certainly Ryan, he's going to try and hold these angles as much as he can. Leon and Meatbee once again trying to blitz upstairs. A couple of shots will be coming in from Leon, but Ryan holding that angle will manage to pick up a lens, but Leon, he has the gun skill available for himself as Meatbee also squared things off into even more favourable position for the players of Secret. Stiz also managed to plant the bomb. Meatbee, knife kill for him. Last one up will be the Mutant. Gets one for his troubles, but really at this stage all it is impactless kills as Leon, another frag on the board for him, and Secret just utterly annihilating that defense.
Meepy looking really good on the gun skill right there. You could just tell from the way that he mechanically played that he's looking very, very solid, especially looking good for his Pro League matches going tomorrow. Actually, are we over in Pro League? Is Pro League done now?
Pro League is tomorrow for EU. Tonight is Latin America.
Ah, okay.
Still another 3 play days for EU, I believe.
Ah, okay. 3 play days left.
Yeah.
You can see here another instantaneous lock-in of that composition coming through from Team Secret. Horizon Union, Jaeger, Valkyrie, Bandit, couldn't quite catch the last two, but we'll have a look at the scoreboards. Meepy right up there with 5 frags. Leon at 4. You can see Lems also at 5. That is a really solid-looking set of frags coming through. These guys have been out-fragging every single round. We didn't really expect Horizon to take a victory here. We expected Team Secret to do well, and Team Secret looked like they could be 5-0ing this attack round, and then they'd need just one defense win. Yeah,
it just kind of gives them that safety net leading into the defense, and certainly I would say Secret have been very strong currently in their attacks. They've been very well coordinated. Of course, you have to give credit to Meepy there being that IGL for their team. Great knowledge of the game. I believe that majority of you guys, any Secret fans, do we have any Meepy copy passes where they basically just call him the Einstein of Siege? He is that smart.
Einstein of Siege. Meepy is the Einstein of Siege. Now, if I were to ask the Einstein of Siege, would you say that this is an attack favored map, or would you say it's a defense favored map? What's the what kind of flavor of this map? Is it you sort of favored in terms of attacking, getting the majority rounds, or defending getting the majority rounds?
Yeah, certainly attacking has a lot more factors into it, where it's very easily to control whenever the diffuser gets planted. The only thing really for the defenders that they have going for themselves is that entire destructibility factor from below, where you have Valkyries with the C4, primarily the Cardiac Scanner, the Pulse Springs as well. But yeah, certainly I would say that Secret, they know these attacking rounds are certainly going to favour them. And whenever Horizon don't really bring a smoke to the table, which is very, very unusual for this particular map, where, well, most likely, really anything for I
didn't even say that. Map. I was demo.
I believe you did quote it as well, though.
I did.
You secondary
quoted it.
Well, it counts as that, so it's good to be back with the UK boys in production.
Oh, God. Right, here we go. Meepy makes his way in. Already Leon picks up a kill onto Ryan, and he's already down there. That is a 1 pick early on, and again, that's been the story for Horizon so far. Another, quick trade there by Shattered, but immediately Meepy cleans up the mess. Right, there's another 1-for-1, and that goes in favor of Team Secret, as they still have that man advantage going in here, Demo.
This is exactly where Secret want to be. They have taken control of that bottom floor. They can get Meepy in, rip up majority of that vertical flooring that you do have. Buster in a bit of an unusual position for an Echo playing inside of Office. Typically we see him more in an anchor role, but then again he will just fall back to the safety of that fountain area. So a lot of time for Secret to play around with. They still have Stiz alive, which is the most important thing, because then he can go ahead and open up that double wall, and then finally the pressure that Secret will implement with their attacking strategies will come in. Very, very simple for them. That's pretty much what they're going to do.
Taking it a little bit slower again. Horizon just trying to find their feet here. Again, it's been so tough for them so far against a very powerful Team Secret. LMs and Meepy have been the standout players. Just in terms of frag skill alone, they have been the ones that have kind of carried their weight. LMs was really the main reason that Team Secret got that first win on the board. It could have very easily gone to Horizon in that 1v1 situation. Crafty just gives away his position there. They know that he is behind this wall. He's trying to hold it against a couple of members, and he goes down immediately. That is Meepy again, picking up another kill here, and it is a 4 versus 2 situation. Meepy now making his way through. Horizon just left with Maestro and Echo, the only 2 remaining defending members, with Mira banned out as well. It's a tough defense for these guys, and Maestro really struggling now. The big onslaught of Team Secret moving through. He opens up that wall, trying to find a really big play here, but gets picked off immediately by Lackey. It's a 4-for-1, and now it's up to Buster. He's going to try and go for some wall bangs. Doesn't quite manage to get that shot through the wall, but the diffuser has gone down here. That is going to be Meepy picking up the kill onto Buster, and Attackers winning another round.
Yeah, just no real communication from Horizon. They know the plant's going down. As soon as Jaeger gets flamed, it just gets absolutely cooked alive in the half wall, you should automatically know, okay, plant's going to come down anytime soon, and that's really where the players should have switched on. Certainly the lack of the roam game has really hurt them quite a bit, and then again, they didn't ban Lion, which has been the main thing that's really killed them. This is the power that Lion brings to the table in terms of what Secret play, their mentality and their playstyle, where they always have the Lion charge, plus a drone, plus you always have Leon entry fragging, who is absolute nut on the shot as well. So
Lion hits that go button, and the team suddenly gets that massive boon, and then you just can't out-trade at that point. No. It's so difficult to, especially with people with the gun skill level of Secret. I mean, they're not going to miss shots, right? So with that Lion boon, you're going to be able to completely rinse, and Frost comes through here on the final defensive push. You would think here for Horizon Union. They're going to change things up with Valkyrie, Frost, Bandit, Castle, and Echo.
So it will be their third pick of a bomb site, which I'm quite surprised they have only went for this one time instead of potentially going for it twice, because they did go for bathroom tellers twice, which is very, very risky. Sure, I know that they did strat it and practice things out, but if it's not working, just go for your other bomb site. There's no point trying to play a bomb site that you know you will struggle with because you're not used to playing it all too much. Certainly Horizon, they need to change things up. They need to at least get a round out of this defense, and then they might have that bit of an advantage on the attack, because let's not forget, Lion will be available on the side of Horizon whenever they switch over. But then again, like we said, the big safety net that's going to be applied by Secret, where they have all the time in the world to just sit back and just win one round. A lot of pressure on Horizon, and they could be staring down the barrel of a 6-0.
It is on the horizon, just 2 rounds away here for Horizon. I didn't mean to mean that one as hard as they did. It's actually going to be a first floor defense coming out now, so they've switched things up. It's no longer going to be Archives and Armory. I think it is a workshop ventilation defense.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's going to be a workshop ventilation defense. What changes up here? How hard is this to defend in general?
You just really have to have the top-down control where you just sit back and defend the armory as much as you can. Knowing Secret, they will probably attempt to try and blitz upstairs, but the way that they're kind of pushing it kind of tells me that they may be looking for the customs and the tellers push, which is something that we see teams do where they're not really that much interested in attacking upstairs. They see a lot of potential roam game that Horizon are trying to establish, which certainly is what they have. And there you go, you can see the power that the Lion has and all the soft walls inside a border. Meatby, excellent kill from him, but just proves how strong that EE1D really is.
Yeah, Buck going to be Meepy just doing work right now. He's been a stand-up player for Secret so far, pretty much all the frags belonging to him in this game. LMs picks up a round sort of flank there as Lucky picks up a kill for Secret, and that is another kill now, a 5 versus 3 situation. This is going to be a 5-0 attack. You can feel it brewing. Really nothing that Horizon can do in this situation. They're going to get another one picked off as Crafty goes down. Another one goes down as Leon picks up a kill onto Buster, and it's now just Maytums versus the world. They know where he is. The frag grenade goes down. He picks up LMs. It is 4 versus 1, but this would have to be a miracle outplay for Mayturns if he wants to bring this back and get a round on the board for Horizon. Diffuser is down. Now the pressure is on Maytums. Right now, Secret can just wait for him to come to them. But there is very few avenues for him to get down, Demo.
Yeah, just really Maytum's trying his best to get a couple of kills for himself, but as we know, once that diffuser gets held, you can see it was literally quad angles being held by Secret. Quad angles. One of them had them if he did drop down the hatch, but Stiz has one covering east stairs, one covering that customs, and the other one covering that server hatch as well. Just Horizon. What can you really say?
It is tough. It is tough. You were going up against arguably the best team in the league, and Horizon definitely coming in as one of the weaker of our lot here in the Premiership, and now we have switched roles. It is going to be defense for Team Secret, and Horizon will be the ones to take on attack. You can see right at the top there, Meepy and LMs doing the majority of the heavy lifting. Leon getting 6 frags to his name as well. But let's take a look at these offensive and defensive teams as Pulse, Jaeger, Bandit, Echo, and Maestro. Smoke actually locked in at the end there. So the first smoke that we're going to see coming out from Team Secret, lots of area control that he provides. Thatcher, Twitch, Ash, Thermite, and Zafir. No Lion on attack here for Horizon.
It's there. Why not bring it? It's going to give you a substantial advantage in doing so. Instead, they will pick for it. That's a very weird one. I'm surprised that they're not bringing the operators like Dokkaebi and Lion. That is a nasty combo if you can have both of them on your side, because essentially, as a defender, you're getting universally doubled. So it's not just the Lion charge going down, you also have the phone call, so not only are you standing still, the attackers know exactly where you are. I don't know why they're not bringing it. Instead, they're going to bring the Thatcher and the IQ. You don't really need Thatcher and IQ if you're going to bring Ash and Sophia, because it's literally the exact same thing that they're going to go for, which is going to be the double wall push in my eyes. That's what I expect. Literally, you can pull Ash downstairs or Sophia, open up below Bandit, kill his Bandit charges, and then you simply do it that way. So those two operators, the IQ and the Thatcher, could have been a Lion and a Dokkaebi, which could have been a lot more scarier.
What is the IQ doing in this game? Because that was a switch they consciously made. They switched out. Who did they switch out for IQ? They switched someone out for IQ.
Twitch.
Twitch. Yeah, they switched out a conscious decision here What is the IQ doing against this Team Secret lineup?
The only thing that you really bring IQ for is just the intel that you can gather. You can see where utility is. Sure, it does have its plus sides on border where you can play below, you can destroy all of the gadgets using that scanner. You can also try and find a couple of defenders if they're on the cameras potentially. But for the most part, she really doesn't do anything. Maybe they expected Secret to bring a Pulsar or Valkyrie, but they seen from the lineup they didn't have a Pulsar or Valkyrie, so I don't really know what they're going for with the IQ. Maybe Razu wants to frag out with a 5.52, but then again, you could have picked the F2 on the Twitch. Very puzzling.
Aggressive push here from Horizon onto that second floor as the balcony starts to get opened up by Ash here. IQ just going to be clearing out a couple of gadgets here and there.
Detected a bomb.
Sees a lot of them.
Yeah, sees a lot of them.
Sees Leon on his camera. That's the main thing.
This is aggressive. I mean, this is Horizon. They're not holding anything back at this point in time. Shots coming through. Take another one of those gadgets out. Clearing out as much of the way as she can here, Ryazu, on this IQ.
But they have not cleared out the Bandit, but no Stiz. He actually does not hear the Thermite charge being placed, and that's actually going to be a pretty good start for Horizon, especially if they can capitalize and get some kills. And Lackey playing very strange, could potentially get wall banged here through that soft wall if Matems did see the angle, but no. Just going to lie down, lock in. Really, half the round still to go for Horizon, looking better. They have their beachhead established. They know exactly where they're pushing in from, but they need to get the frags because eventually the time will run out. The Echo Drone will be able to do its work, and really from there, that's just going to be game, set, match.
Yeah, the pressure is on for Horizon because they haven't found that first frag that Team Secret is so able to on their initial push. Tag went down onto Raya there, but not actually much more than that. It was just a single tag, and now Horizon have got just coming up to a minute left to make a decisive play on these bomb sites, and Team Secret really holding fast here, not consciously wanting to move from their defensive positions. They don't need to make any sort of rash moves at this point in time because it's all up to Horizon. They're the ones that consciously have to go out and proactively win this round to stay in this game.
First kill will come in from Meatby, jumping out of that ventilation unit. Shattered pushing in by himself, that lone kind of Slayer. Meatby, another kill for him. Buster pushes straight in aggressively, does see. Lackey will get that kill. Double kill for him. Echo Drone will be there, gaining the intel. And really from this stage, a 1 versus 3. Going up against the Echo Drone, the Maestro, he will finally get the kill. Meatby finishes it off with a nice triple kill. And that will be Team Secret 6-0 Horizon Union. First 6-0 of the Prem.
I think we were expecting it coming into this particular matchup. I think Team Secret were arguably the best team in our league. They are the Pro League team. They are the only professional team that we have in the Rainbow Six Premiership right now. And Meepy absolutely monstrous right now, fragging left, right, and center. And Horizon, they gave it a good go. I mean, arguably, I don't think anybody expected them to get this far or even sort of take a round of Team Secret. So there were some instances where they looked like they could potentially have found their way into the game, but really just outclassed. Yeah,
just that's kind of what I was expecting anyway. I'm sure most of you guys at home expected that as well. But Horizon, to be fair to them, that is going to be 2 hard matches gone for them. They played Vex last week, they played Horizon, and then, they played Secret, so that's kind of Horizon, their big match is gone. So this is kind of where they can push towards maybe try and pick up a couple of wins or possibly some draws against some of the other teams that may not be on the same level as Secret. So certainly you have to always take positives from Horizon the way they played. I like their bathroom tellers, I like what they go with, but just execution finally not there, and Secret just doing what Secret does.
Yeah, Meepy, for me again, those frag grenades, those shots, I mean just the gun skill of this guy was so good. But overall, Team Secret just looked very slick, very professional, warming up for that game that they're going to be having tomorrow. And Horizon, I mean, they just need to, again, take solace from this, that this wasn't a match that they were ever predicted to win. They need to just take some confidence going forward and say, well, there's a round where we could have got a winner versus Team Secret, which is decent, you know, and then you can take that into some of those mid-team tables versus the rest of the field, and hopefully Horizon Union can pick up a win here or there and find themselves somewhere in the playoffs. Remember, 6th is the cutoff point out of 8 to make a run for the finals. I believe we may have an interview coming up, so I just want to make sure that we get confirmation on that before we move on any further. But Team Secret definitely looking like a team to beat in this particular run of things. And they have to continue that run of form, though, because they come off a draw in the first week, meaning they are now at 4 points overall. If we see a couple of the teams that are already at the top of the table take wins this week, then they will still need to play catch-up to some of the rest of the teams in the Premiership.
Yeah, certainly Horizon, they've got themselves off to a bad start. We'll have to see how they do. They still have a couple more hard games in there. You still have to face the likes of Guidance Gaming, who really have impressed me this season as well, who we will see up next. So that's going to be a pretty fun one to see. But certainly Secret, after the draw they had, which isn't what they wanted last week, they just came in and say, no, we are still the top dogs in this pen. And that's exactly what they've done. They've asserted dominance. Nothing really, I would say, that we can, credit Secret. It's just Secret doing what they do best. There's nothing really ingenious about what they've done. It's just the simple, you gave them Lion and look what they done to you.
I'm kind of, when we do the interview with Secret, I'm kind of less interested about this match. I'm more interested about their preparation for sort of the grand scheme of Rainbow Six, how they're prepping for things like Worlds. I mean, is it Worlds in Rainbow Six? Is it?
Yeah. We have Pro League finals.
Yeah, Pro League finals. I mean, they're prepping for that, aren't they? Do you have to cross EUNA finals at some point soon?
Yeah.
When is that?
It's going to be the Rio de Janeiro finals.
Ah, okay. And who do you expect? Is it EU? I mean, EU won last time, right? Penta won.
Well, previously. G2 just wins everything, really.
So G2, you think G2 are going to win?
Yeah, G2 more than likely, but again, it's LAN.
Well,
it's
wait,
different.
Did Penta come in as the absolute favourites last time, or did they?
Penta had used to be. Penta switched to G2 just before the Paris Major.
Okay.
So we've had a couple of org changes inside the Pro League.
So basically, Penta is G2.
Yeah, that's the team that won everything in that whole year.
Ah, okay, and they're still winning right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Secret are prepping. I'm also wondering what they're using this time in the Premiership as, I mean, is for them, is it like a way to practice new tactics, way to sort of try out new operators and see how they do? I'd love to just forget their mindset, because obviously they're a Pro League team, and we're not pretending that we're Pro League, because obviously we have sort of a different level of skill. But Team Secret here, I'm wondering how they use this time in the Premiership. What do they do with it?
I think they're just playing it for fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're not going to give away any of their strategies, because they are always going to be looking at the bigger picture. They know that they're still fighting for a spot at Rio. They know that. But certainly just speaking to Leon and Lackey, primarily two British guys, they've always wanted something for the UK PC scene. Got it finally.
Got it finally. This is an Xbox boy. You wouldn't.
Yeah. But yeah, still hard. It's Xbox PC, a little bit different. But yeah, certainly they're still looking at it. I know that Lackey and Leon, they just want something to play inside the UK, and certainly they want to go to a LAN event in the UK as well.
Sure, and they're matching up against Penta tomorrow, and Penta just came third, I believe, in an event last week that they were the only.
Yeah, they came third, in the Euro Cup, which I cast it.
Ah, you cast it. Right, we have an interview with Meepy from Team Secret. Again, our MVP, for obvious reasons, literally just had the most kills. The guy was on fire. Meepy, how are you doing, bud?
Seems to be an issue.
I can't quite hear the Skype audio there, unfortunately. He did look like he said, "I'm doing well."
Yeah, that's kind of the go-to phrase for Meepy.
But hopefully I'll get word from a production whether we can get the audio running on that, and if we can, hopefully we'll be able to get Meepy back online. Anything that you're particularly dying to ask this guy, though?
Just really, how's it going? How's his perfect Sunday went this weekend?
Your perfect win over.
He's not going to tell us anything about his strategies.
No,
he really isn't.
I'm not interested in strategies. I'm more interested in, sort of.
Yeah, I'm more interested, I would say, in really what they're expecting to gain from Premiership.
Yeah, and also how prep is going for other events, because obviously they've got big events coming up soon, and I want to know how all that prep's going, and where sort of they see themselves, how they see themselves doing. I mean, can they take down the Titans of G2? In the European scene?
Probably the best team to do so. I would say that really out of the top 4 teams, that was Evil Geniuses, Rogue, G2, and Secret. I would definitely say Secret have the better chance to do that.
Right, we're going to try it again. We're going to try and bring Meepy back near. I'm going to just test. Meepy, just say 1, 2, 3 for me.
Oh dear, this isn't too good.
It's not working. I definitely saw him say 1, 2, 3. He's shaking his head. I can't hear what he's saying to us right now. But hopefully we get that fixed. We're gonna scrap the interview with Meepy. Meepy, thank you so much for attempting to get an interview with us, but unfortunately,
great interview.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he said I'm well, and also said 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
A lot of information gathered from our boy Meepy from Team Secret there. Basically, if I translate that, it means we're gonna wreck the whole of EU, even G2. So wow, big words.
I think we have a new fanboy. I'm no longer the Team Secret fanboy. It's now you.
Really?
Yes.
I used to like Team Secret in a game called Vainglory that I cast. They were really good about 2 years ago. But yeah, other than that, haven't really followed much of Team Secret.
Okay, I'll still be fanboy. Why not?
You can be the fanboy. Right, so we are going to be running to a quick break, I believe, and when we come back, we'll have our next match in the Premiership. And we have actually getting to that one pretty quickly because we ended very early in this match here. Thank you very much for watching so far, and stick around because we've got more Premiership action coming your way.
Stairs. Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No. Oh my. Oh.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Hello. Welcome back to the ESL Rainbow Six Premiership, powered by Intel and gaming from Curry's PC World. I know that was a little bit of a
ASMR,
ASMR intro for you, just in case you thought we weren't offering just Rainbow Six here. I do also offer Rainbow Six-based ASMR services too. I just like, I don't know, whisper operator names in your ear like Dokkaebi. Do you like it?
What is this?
You can see his face. He's into
This
it.
isn't Siege.
I could start a YouTube channel about just whispering operator names in very, very soft-spoken words to those Rainbow Six ASMR fans. Would you like to play Rainbow Six to Excounter ASMR?
Well, if the commentary doesn't work out for you, there's your backup.
Yes. Have another career path when I eventually kill this one off with intros like that, because we have another game coming your way right after that incredible stomp from Team Secret. I don't think anybody was expecting anything different, but we have Guidance going up against Barrage. Now, Barrage, they have got a couple of players from our previous ESL Premiership on Xbox who have made the transition to PC. I believe it is Willow and Kizza. So.
And also WizKid as well. He used to play for Infamy.
I like Willow. He's a lad. I met him at the last Premiership. He's a really nice guy. I'm glad that he's managed to find his foothold transitioning to that PC version. But Guidance are an incredible team, and I do believe Barrage have an uphill battle for them if they want to take that win against them. You said that you were expecting a pretty similar scoreline maybe to the previous game, and I think that's probably fair to say, just given how well we know Guidance can play here.
Yeah, Guidance definitely having that more experience in terms of PC, because they have been on it a lot longer than the players who did transition over. You know, those guys on Guidance, certainly they have been playing PC for a while, really haven't had anything in terms of UK scene to really go for, which is kind of, you know, the whole story we have here at Prem is, you know, giving those players a bit of a chance to really prove themselves on a pretty good stage as well. But certainly Guidance, they have impressed me quite a bit this season. To be fair to Barrage, they did manage to take away a draw, which they were not expecting. Just speaking to Willow last week, they thought, oh yeah, we'll be lucky if we get 2 rounds against Unnamed, but they actually surprised themselves and managed to get a draw. So we could see a similar story, but still, I have to give that nudge towards Guidance. Yeah,
I think that's the case that everybody is running with right now. Let's take a look at the map vetoes for this particular matchup. It is going to be Oregon, a map that we end up playing on here. So another standard-ish map coming through. 3-floor map this time around, as opposed to the 2-floor one that we had on the previous. What are the big changes that we've seen? Has Oregon seen any changes from Rainbow Six competitive?
No, not that I can really think of. You just have to go for a different bomb site if you do win that downstairs, and then that kid's bedroom as well. So certainly that kind of, you know, opens up what kind of possibilities you need to have. I know that this is the map that Barrage did play against Unnamed last week, and they did manage to pull off that draw like I mentioned. They did have also kitchen and dining work for them, I believe. So, you know, they kind of do have that, you know, similar aspect where, yeah, they did provide some pretty good strategies that we know you need to have if you want to play Oregon. Oregon's kind of that big map where if you want to play this, you're going to have to play it well, because you can get punished very, very hard if you slip up one thing on the defense. The attack will sue you for all the money you have, because they will just go in. You see big operators picked like Glaz or Lion, if they're not banned, they can be devastating in this map. Really comes down to see the op bans and kind of what strategies teams are expecting.
So, I mean, obviously now that we have the defensive rotations where you have to now pick a third bomb site, you can't rotate between 2 over and over again. What are the common bomb sites? Are we going to see a tower defense bomb site?
We might. That's something that is a possibility. I've seen a bit of an uprise in it inside of the Challenger League, so certainly that may be another option as well if they want to go for that. But then again, you're really going to need to get some pretty good strat work in if you want to go for that. I'm not really expecting either of these teams to go for that. It more than likely will be the kitchen and dining. And I would still say that if you win your defense, you really have a good chance leading into the attacking rounds, because really the attacks is where you do excel on Oregon, because you have so much flexibility. The strategies are very, very easy to push for whenever the defenders, you know, they start losing numbers, and whenever you start beating out the utility primarily on that bottom floor, then yeah, things do start to go south quite quickly.
So a Maverick ban here for Guidance coming out. What do you make of that there, Demo? That's a sort of a different change-up?
Yeah, Maverick's certainly in a very good spot at the moment in terms of what he brings. Typically we see him a lot more on maps. For example, I would say Clubhouse is a very big one for him. This one, not so much. I can kind of see where the players of Guidance are coming from, because Maverick can be used pretty well in terms of opening up potential I would say, angles in towards some of these sneaky drop hatches and potentially the double walls as well, but I really don't see him getting much use, so you could have left them open.
Because Lion's up again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Certainly Lion is available. Glaz, no surprise there. Echo, also no surprise, because he is very, very strong on that bottom floor, and Clash being the final one, so we're actually going to see Mira being let through inside of Oregon.
Yeah, Glass really powerful on the bigger maps as well, because he's able to get so many angles, and especially when you're playing the longer range game, Glass is going to have a huge impact here. So I'm not surprised by Glass, but we'll have to see what we see in terms of the attack and defense, because attacking is going to be Barrage first and defense is going to be Guidance. Mira is locked in, as you would expect. No Lion currently locked in for Barrage, but remember, you do get that 6th pick, so you can swap something in and out. Thermite, Sledge, and Willow loves Sledge. I mean, we saw a lot of
He loves the Elliot. He loves the Elliot. I believe primarily on Xbox he was a Thatcher kind of guy, but Thatcher Sledge, give or take, it's the exact same weapon.
Yeah, and Ying, Capital, Zofia. It's going to be Smoke, Jaeger, Mira, Bandit, Maestro. Lots of zone control for the defense here from Guidance, and looking where they are going to land that first bomb. It is going to be Kid's bedroom, so it's going to be a Kid's bedroom assault coming out here, and that means we are looking for a lot of floor control coming in on the first floor, you imagine. Going in kitchen, dining hall, make sure you get control of that, and then for the hatches up towards the Kid's bedroom, and you want to make sure that those dorm stairs you can control as well.
Yeah, certainly it will be more of an aggressive hold downstairs inside of the kitchen, a strategy that we do see quite common, and especially with Mira being let through, it makes that hold a lot more easier. We may be lacking a bit of a Castle on the side of Guidance, because Castle is very good in locking down a lot of those potential angles that you can get cut off from inside of the kitchen. Quite interestingly enough, sometimes we see teams impact in towards meat and really extend that hold a lot more, but no, they're going to actually reinforce that and also put some bandit batteries onto that also. So yeah, a lot of heavy denial that they're going to try and implement in towards that meat and make sure that it only really forces Barrage in towards that west side, which is exactly where Mira will really excel into. And like you said, the white stairs is always going to be a main area that they're going to want to try and hold as well.
Maestro already clearing out some, opening some angles down there on the first floor, making sure they have good control of that kitchen area. You want to make sure that you prevent an easy push in from that floor up through the white stairs as well. So we'll have to see where Barrage decide to move through. Tower is going to be their assault point for a couple of their members. And again, Tower will lead you another way into that second floor, which will allow you to have another angle going into the Kid's bedroom.
Well, Barrage, they seem to be taking it towards those Kids' bedroom window. This is a strategy which we have seen a big uprise in, where all you need to take is control of that big tower, and towards the rear stage you have these angles cut off, and then you just play the windows very, very aggressively. Capitao really excels with those asphyxiating bolts. Blackout, he may be looking to get a little bit frisky. He sees the Sledge, and Willow not going to be ready for that. Excellent bit of aggressive peek from Blackout. Maybe looking for a double kill as well, because the shotgun can do a lot of damage on those windows.
I'm a little bit confused. I felt like Barrage had complete intel in terms of people inside that room, so Willow just overstepping his mark a little bit. Oh, Kiza just trying to get some shots on the angle there, but Wiz picks up a kill on the sidelines, but it does look like Kiza has got a lot of lockdown onto that Kid's bedroom. This is a heavy assault on those Kid's bedroom windows now, and you can see Boogie's going to open up another angle here, going to force some different defensive patterns now out of Guidance. It's Capitao again, just looking to create space. There's the arrows coming in now. Again, looking for a peek. Kiza, very aggressive on this Capitao. It's sort of a skill that he transferred over from his Xbox days. He was a very aggressive player, but does get picked up by Hayes as he takes an aggressive peek. It was a dangerous peek there, though, Demo.
Just the intel that is not going to be gathered by Barrage really affecting them going into this final minute of the round. Boogie, he will start to take up the fallen position of his comrade. Couple of Candelas as well, maybe going for the swing in, but it's very aggressive, and he is aggressive jump out from him, eliminates the Ying, but he will be detected outside, but that doesn't matter as Vex picks up one on the Shady. Down to Wes, who walks into the pre-fire of Kendrew. What plays from the players of Guidance. Almost about to say train hard, because Kendrew, he plays inside the Challenger League for a different team.
It felt a little bit forced from Barrage there.
Yes,
it definitely felt very forced. I mean, that was That, for me, felt like a shock and awe tactic. You went straight for kids' bedroom windows. There was no tactical first floor play. It was all straight... I didn't mean that sequence of words there.
That's going to be a lower third in a minute.
It's straight up to the kids' floor windows and just bash those windows in and try and find peaks left, right, and center. That feels like you're relying more on your mechanical skill and less on your tactics, which, I'm not going to sort of spew it too quickly, but for guys that made that transition from Xbox to PC, where a lot of the Xbox wins came through gun skill outskilling each other, it definitely felt like a tactic that is transferred across, and didn't quite work out here, where PC it's much easier to hit your shots and very hard on an offensive capability when you have just a box window on defense to shoot through a window to make those plays happen.
I'm loving the aggression that he actually did bring to that as well. He knows that they had the man advantage. At least if you can secure that kill, even if you get traded out, you've still done the damage. You've eliminated that window potential that Ying can be so devastating on with those Candelas. But certainly just the lack of drones from Barrage really affecting them there inside of that late game. They don't know where these players are. They didn't have anybody stationed over towards that big double window, which is quite a shock, because that cuts off a lot of the rotations that the defenders try and implement. Potentially, if somebody wanted to try and escape from that top floor, then they could have caught off that rotation, catching them whenever they do try and rotate in towards the white stairs. So a bit of a puzzling, definitely, like you said, very, very forced that they tried to work as much as they could, but it just fell in the execution of it.
All right, things switching up here. Guidance have kept their same, mostly their same roster. Has anything changed on the side of Barrage? Looks like they've got the Thermite, the Sledge, the Ying.
Seems to be the same,
Capitan,
I believe.
Yeah, so they're running with similar. I think the same on both sides right now for Guidance.
Guidance, they have picked up Kendrew on that Ella, and Ella, quite interestingly enough, she will be rocking the FO12, the semi-automatic shotgun that you may think, oh, that's a bit strange. Not really, because in Oregon, we have seen this be primarily used over the Scorpion in most circumstances, mostly because it provides that destructibility factor, and it does do a lot of damage, a lot of hefty damage on the side of the Ella. Can really burn people up close and personal inside of the kid's bedroom, which you can see that's where he will be playing inside of. Willow trying to work his way in towards the dining, establish the first bit of beachheading, and Kiz is set up for these crossfires.
So the bombs that we're currently defending right now, is it basement bombs right now?
Yes.
Supply in, so it looks like kid's bedroom is obviously trying to control kitchen and dining, because that's where you're going to want to get above those bombs in the basement. And suddenly, a lot of open floor on kid's bedroom here. I mean, Ela just opening everything that she can see to provide those angles to the floor below.
Whiz, kiting around the Ella, right around the beds. There you go, Kendrew, finally. But that has wasted just a good bit of time on the players of Barrage. Look at these crossfires really set up, but nobody's going to follow up on the push. This is where Lion would be so strong for Barrage if they did go ahead and pick him up, but no. This is how well that you can see the player of Kendrew, the very patient, very dictating the play. It really slows down Barrage. First Candela will go in quite smartly. You can see that Kendrew, he will lie down, step up and gets the shotgun blast onto Boogie. This is where it becomes so devastating. The coordination just not there for Barrage. No refrag going in. Kizza trying his best to potentially try and shut down the L. The shotgun comes out. Kizza wins that engagement. 50 seconds to go, and that will finally be the Ella falling.
That was a really nice duck down from Ella behind the bed to make sure that even when the Candelas came through, he wasn't immediately visible. He jumped up, get a couple of shotguns there. A 1-for-1 trade in the end, but it's a lot of time wasted because now it's only 40 seconds and all you've secured is the second floor. You had to spend a lot more time now trying to secure that first floor, and you can see Smoke still has plenty of time. You're never going to get through those stairs now because he has got all of those smoke grenades left to control that area with such little time to go. Vex picks up a kill onto Shade. He gets another kill onto Kizza. This is all she wrote for Barrage in this round. You can't help but feel as the plant does try to come through. The diffuser is down, but it is a 4 versus 1. This should be an easy cleanup as Willow does pick up one, immediately traded by Harris.
Oh, Harris.
And defenders end up winning the round. I don't even think the diffuser went down there, actually. They didn't get the time because of the smoke bomb, but that was a very, very quick cleanup by Guidance.
Oh, Harris just spraying with the Alda. That's the real strength that the Alda has, where essentially there is no hip-fire recoil, and as you can see, well, quite a comedic way to end the round, but certainly Kendry doing most of the pulling work inside of that. Round 4, the players of Guidance, and certainly I did like the flank that Vex established with that Jaeger, trying to catch the players of Barrage even more so, because that's the thing. You've seen the first roamer waste so much time, came down to the minute mark, then they sent another roamer up, and then he just came in for the final blow to really strike down that entire attack that Barrage had.
Alibi coming in. I actually get switched over to Valkyrie. I was expecting an interesting addition here for Guidance, but it is going to be the Valkyrie coming through. Castle, like you said, which was sorely missing on the first round, even though Guidance got the win there. They do now have the castle for the kids' bedroom. Yeah, no, it's first floor. It's kitchen and kitchen and dining. Because remember, they've won 2 in a row, so they have to go to that third site. So they are forced onto the kitchen and dining.
Yeah, this is the thing that I did talk about, where you have put yourself into a bit of a disadvantage as a defender, because if you're going to play Oregon, once you win those first 2 bomb sites, the other 2 do not look that much appealing compared to what you previously played. Mira will help a big ton inside of this round, simply because Mira can really shut down a lot of that potential pushing power that, you know, operators there like Ying can provide. Running straight in towards the dining, those Mira windows always give you that significant advantage inside the firefights. But really all we're expected from Barrage is they walk in, clear the parts of small tower that they need, they take control of the bathroom, and then they simply walk in, plump beside the sofa, and that should be pretty simple for Barrage to overcome this defense of Guidance.
No need to control kids' bedroom, or is that going to be something that they...
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all. So you're not bothered about the sort of the top-down view, but already Kendry picks up a kill onto...
Oh, that's massive.
It's a big kill as well. It's onto Thermite. The hard breach is gone. So they've only got Sledge now, which is going to be difficult for them to deal with. An initial kill. Barrage can't be giving kills away in the first 30 seconds of a round like that, especially kills that are so easy to pick off. And now it's a 4 versus 5 on what is a very simple attacking formula, like you said.
To be fair, they don't really need it, the Thermite, because as you can see, Guidance, they left that entire soft wall soft. Harris, he eliminates Boogie, so that's going to be Ying off the board. The pushing power that potentially could have been established by Barrage will be eliminated, but he gets fragged right back. So we will see a 3 versus 4 leading into not even a minute gone, and already you can see a lot of power coming out of the players of, I keep saying train hard because Kendry, but no, it's Guidance. Another quick run out from the Valkyrie. What a shot, I must say. Great Valkyrie camera. I'm stealing that one in ranked 100%.
Absolutely, as they can spy out what I think here is Willow on the sidelines. That is the Sledge they see. You can see Valkyrie lining up a shot. Shots coming through immediately. Doesn't get the shot.
Close.
And Willow and Kizza still left alive in this game. The Xbox duo from the previous roster, they are still alive and kicking in this round, but they've got plenty of work to do as Kizza makes that aggressive move. Will reveal his location. Sledge goes down as Willow takes the L. And now it is just Kizza versus the world. Does look to get an aggressive shot there. Has to move immediately because of that grenade that came through. Might have been a flashbang. But now Kizza has got a big task on his hands. He's looked to open up angles, but how many angles do you need to get a 4 kill here? Especially when everything is now covered by Barrage. They know you're on that first floor. They're going to look to make an aggressive push. There's the window. Can Kizza get it? No, he can't. Kendry, the absolute star of this round on the Valkyrie, picks up the win for Guidance.
This is why he's in Challenger League. This is exactly why the quality that this guy has. Hipfire Deagle as well. Not the easiest thing to pull off, but certainly he does the damage into that Barrage attack, and Barrage kind of from the word go, they just got completely wiped from that. They didn't have a look in inside that round. The aggressive peaks coming out from the Valkyrie, using those black eyes as the best of his ability as he can, and look at that scoreboard. 4 kills, 1 kill each for the players of Barrage except Willow.
So 3-0 right now. Barrage have not looked like they've even got a foot in the door here, not even a finger in the door.
More like a foot in the grave.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like they're heading that way. This could very well be lining up to be what you said, a very quick 6-0, 6-1 scoreline for Guidance, who looked strong on defense. Barrage have got to make a shake-up here. They're not going to shake up their operators, though. Going to run with that same setup once more. Just need to be a bit better on that gun skill. Don't give away any silly kills in the first 30 seconds of the round. And it is going to be a tough offense, though. It is that kid's bedroom, one of the easier defense sites on Oregon. And it is going to be Guidance looking for their 4th win of this round.
So a bit of the similar story that we're seeing from Guidance. No real change from their setup. pretty much the exact same, if I'm not mistaken. Barrage still rocking with that same attacking lineup as well. Last time we seen them trying to establish that big tower control in towards the meeting, cut off rotations, which I actually believe Wiz did manage to pick up. I believe it was Harris on the flank, but nonetheless, really Barrage, they went full on in towards that kid's bedroom, but the quick peeks and the maneuverability that really Guidance had over Barrage just proved to be enough, and really, I'm expecting kind of a similar thing again.
All right, so we're in. Barrage, a little bit more solid on the offense here. They haven't lost anybody. I'm going to call not losing anybody in the first 30 seconds a win for Barrage. And we'll see where they look to mount their offense. See lots of defensive sections coming through here from Guidance as Harris just controlling a lot of these angles here. You can see Mira again so useful on this defense point. That is going to be a tower start here for the Barrage boys. They're going to look to move in through tower, then try and get some kind of breach onto that second floor.
Just a bit of the drone work being established by Barrage. This is pretty much the exact same setup they had last time. I believe that they have rotated in Kizza right below the garage and also Sherry inside of the armory. So they're trying to maybe, I believe, switch up things, and they're actually maneuvering towards that balcony area in towards the master bedroom. So they have switched up their attack strategy. They still have a good bit of time to go, but the main thing that they have to do is get rid of those bandit charges that will be there. Actually, they're not going to be there. A bit of a misplay on the side of Guidance, not having those shock wires to deny the access to that thermite. Maybe they were expecting that same kid's window push, but no. Barrage, quite smartly, saying, that didn't work last time, let's try something else. Blackout in a very aggressive position. We can see a lot of devastation coming out on the side of the smoke. We've seen this here in the past with players right inside of that corner, but he does get thrown out and has to rotate. So still a minute on the clock. Harris, he will get the first kill on the Kiz. That quick jump out of that shower window does the damage that he needed to do for his team, eliminates the big threat of those asphyxiating bolts. And this is where the rest of the players of Barrage are going to have to stack up and start pushing in towards the heart of the bomb site.
Just can't help but feel Lion would have been 10 times better in these push situations where you just need to have a blitz-style tactic, especially with what we've seen from Barrage so far. They have changed things up now. They're not going for a kid's window assault, which they did in the previous time. They are just looking to slowly maneuver their way in. They do have a foothold, which is good. It's better than they were in the position before. They've got a little bit of a foothold on this second floor now. But there is a flank, a bit of a roam coming out right now, and that could end up right behind the Barrage roster if they're not careful. The smoke grenades start to come out. They've got 30 seconds to work with, and I tell you what, Guidance are so good at holding onto those smokes until they need them most. They know exactly where Barrage are trying to enter these rooms, and that smoke is going to constantly force Barrage into an awkward position. Another smoke grenade comes out. I think I just heard that come through. Zafir looking for an entry point. The diffuser starting to come through as Willow picks up a kill with the frag. Hayes actually ends up getting a kill in return, a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. And Guidance now starting to move in. Vex with that roam, I think, came through. Got a massive 2-4 as Kendrew goes down to Shady, but defenders have already picked it up. Guidance pick another win on the board. And that is a 4-0 into round 5 now.
Well, we literally just watched the replay of the last match that we've seen, because it's pretty much a similar story. One team just completely stomping out the other team. Look at that. That just explains it.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, actually, it's not like anyone's super running away with it on Guidance. Everybody across the board is doing okay, but Kendrew and Vex, both themselves, picking up the majority frags here. And Willow and Kizza, I think, actually end up having the kills, or maybe Shady end up having the kills here.
I think there's about 3 of them there and 2 kills.
Yeah, Shady and Willow and Kizza and Wiz on 1. Unfortunately, Boogie not having the time of his life. But again, Barrage, I just don't think they're utilizing the best operators they could for this kind of situation. Maybe they're just not comfortable with Lion's gun. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Lion has a very solid gun, 50 rounds in the chamber. You can't really go wrong with, you know, a very still slow rate of fire, but does a good chunk of damage. Bit of a weird one that they're not really taking that.
Guidance have, after winning that first floor defense of kitchen dining room, put themselves with a very easy defense with smoke on basement. And this is going to be a really easy closeout for them, you feel, unless Barrage pull out something special. And to be honest, Barrage have not changed a single operator this entire attacking format. They really haven't shown much adaptability in terms of what's working and what isn't. Maybe they're just thinking that individual mechanical mistakes are leading to their downfall here. But overall, they have not adapted, and Guidance look in a really solid position.
they just haven't done the basics right. They haven't droned enough, in my opinion. You can see that whenever just talking about that previous round where we've seen the 4 people all ready to pounce on the player that is Kendra, who's going to be in the exact same position like he was last time. They had all the crossfire set up, they had the drones in, but nobody was there to go for the push. That's the big thing for me. You're sitting there, you're holding angles, but nobody's really following up. And even whenever you did see Boogie run in with the Ying, he got completely shut down because there wasn't any drones to help him with that final push. And then there was also nobody there to get the refrags. You need to keep the refrags available for you and your team. You need to keep the numbers game as even as you can, or if not in your favor, if that is possible. I can kind of see the same picture coming out from Barrage unless they actually want to push this time.
Let's take a look at how things are shaping up, and again, it is slow. I mean, Barrage really, they either go hard or they go very slow, and this time it's another slow push. They look like they're going in for some assaults around that kitchen area, trying to secure that first floor. Again, they can open up some of that that ceiling area, and that will give them some potential to at least get some viewpoints onto basement.
Kendra using good work with that semi-auto, creates himself a little rotation hole and could potentially be on for a flank, as the players of Barrage are not even interested in attacking that Ella once again. As you can also see, Vex in a very nice position up in top of that attic, provides a lot of rotations as well.
Exactly, but not trying to go for this Ella really will bite you. If you leave this down to around 30 seconds and you try to go down through the laundry stairs where Smoke's going to have control, Ella can just find another roam and Kendra can look to come behind you and take you all out in previous. And you can see again, he's got plenty of options now. They know that he's there, but no one's trying to respond to him. Everyone is just leaving Ken on the second floor, and he's going to have free roam when it gets down to 30 seconds and the pressure is on for Barrage, because they will not be looking back towards the second floor when their primary goal is assaulting that basement.
This is ingenious from Kendra, using the shotgun to try and create some lines of sight down in towards that drop hatch. I believe he might be able to get a kill onto Ying. If it's actually going to be, I believe, Thermite. And Kizm, the Capitaya actually does get eliminated. What a play from Kendra. He sends his team very much into the lead. Wiz trying his best, but the C4 will come out from Hayes, will eliminate him. But in the midst of that, the diffuser gets planted. Willow eliminates Vex, trying to go for that room game. But still, you have the player off Kendra alive and well, can really wreck house with the shotgun, but no, Shady will be there. Blackout is actually going to try and defend the diffuser. Blackout pushes straight up in towards the stairs. Harris on extremely low HP, and Barrage, I believe they might actually manage to win their first round, and that will be the case. No, it misses, and he actually manages to get the shots. That was too close to call. Willow misses a frag grenade, but doesn't miss a headshot. And Barrage, well, they will not be getting 6-0'd, but certainly still in the gutter, but at least they get something for their troubles.
That is a really, really big win for Barrage, not only for their confidence, but also for that scoreline going into their defense. That should have been a simple defense for Guidance. Again, some nice moves by Ken on the top floor, but Barrage were not concerned with that. They were very happy to try and use that disarray of Guidance to move down and get that diffuser planted. Once that diffuser went down, I actually don't know how that diffuser went down so easily. How did they give up that basement control? Did they just not have a smoke? I think they did have a smoke, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the Capitao bolts.
The Capitao bolts came out.
That kind of covered it off. Sure, you could see the gas canisters come in, but it missed its target.
Yeah.
Because those lines of sight were covered off by the smoke.
Again, they let them into that basement too easily, their Guidance, and Barrage getting at least one win on the board is a very, very good thing for them. And now they are the ones that have to defend, and if I do remember, a lot of good defense came out from the likes of Willow and Kizza in the previous prem. They were pretty solid on those defensive operators.
Attackers need to locate and
so Guidance, they will be taking the Lion. Bravo for them, seeing the
OP operator.
The very strong operator that is Lion. Going to use that to the best of its ability. Still also has the Ying in there as well, so a lot of scary operators being established by Guidance. They only have the one form of hard breach, so we're not seeing Habana either. I don't think we've seen Habana at all today. Also in the previous matchup, it was completely Thermite.
Yeah, no, I think Thermite has 100%.
That's a bit strange.
100% right now in the Prem, Thermite, in terms of appearances.
And he still is, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've seen Thermite almost every round here. That hard entry, just irreplaceable it feels for some teams in these scenarios. It is going to be a, I think it's a, is that a basement defense here? Yeah, that is a basement defense here. So it is going to be a basement defense to start off with Barrage. They do have the smoke. Smoke probably one of the strongest operators in the basement Barrage because of how important those laundry stairs are for the plant.
I'm also a bit confused to why there's no Mira on the side of Barrage. you have the Mira available, which would significantly enhance your defendable capabilities for the downstairs, and you're not taking it. It's like they see that Lion's available and they don't take it, and they see that Mira's available and they don't take it either. The two most banned operators, and you're not going to play them.
Mira is such a powerful tool, especially combined with smoke on this basement when you have that supply closet to work with. Interesting that you wouldn't go for it, but maybe something that Guidance just aren't working with right now. Maybe you don't have to play completely meta. They feel more comfortable with something like the Legion, which comes through here as well. They're also running with the Maestro, so getting some info as well while they can.
First bit of utility will be used by the players of Guidance at E1D, and also Candela. 2 Candelas will be used by Haze. They did see a couple of players inside of the kitchen area, but since then they have rotated using that nice rotation hole that the smoke does use. You know, that shotgun is amazing for creating those rotation holes. That's kind of why you bring him, not just to stop the plant, but just the sheer utility that he brings with that pump. Does a lot of work, especially whenever you're trying to make these rotation holes inside of the meeting area. Well, he does have this mute jammer, which is going to be very good at countering that Lion charge, because if you did not know, if you do stand inside of a mute charge, but I was about to say that, but he does not keep him invulnerable from the bullets that Vex have rained down upon him. Still one more player right in the back of the rear stage. Vex trying to hunt for him. A couple of drones would be nice at this location. Shady, he stands up, but straight away gets put right back down, as that will be another kill for Vex. And this does square things off in Guidance Gaming's favour.
Yeah, and they are very close to securing a 5-1 lead here. It has to be a very big comeback from Barrage. They still have the potential to make this defense happen, but the offense is looking very good. The Lion, again, so good for breaching, so good for fighting entry frags. Every angle seemingly covered here as well. And now the pressure is on Barrage to react.
This is where the Yings and the asphyxiating bolts will be put down, as Boogie, he will be flamed out. Kizza misses that smoke grenade, and the E1D also will be established. Wiz manages to get 1-4's troubles, but the fuse will be planted. Actually, it's not, as it was stopped by that C4. Another smoke caster goes in, as also the Candelas are returned in the favour. Wiz, another one for him. Double kill for Wiz.
Oh, a double for Wiz.
Big for him, but Kendra, he swings on around and just down to the mute. This will be a clutch ace if he manages to find these two, but as you can see, Vex on the back and Kendry attempting to go for the plant. 10 seconds on the clock. The mute will have to play very, very big. Kendry establishing the diffuser, but Vex, he will be there, misses the shots, but no. Wiz just barely does get caught out by that ACOG, and once again, Guidance Gaming, they take the first attack and they put themselves on match point.
I tell you what, that got a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. After that single double from Wiz right there, he put themselves into a 2 versus 2, but unfortunately they were not able to get through Vex, who's been a brilliant player for Guidance so far. And the Lion really coming through, showing you what it can do in terms of getting you into those offensive positions, because Lion is such a good breach sort of supplement with your attacking team. And I don't imagine that Guidance is going to switch things up here. You're probably going to see the Lion coming through again. You can see Thatcher, you can see Capitao, and you can see also Vex at the top of the scoreboard with Kendrew there, 8 and 7 apiece. Lion, Thatcher, Ying, Thermite, Capitao, Mute, Legion, Maestro, Smoke, and Jaeger. No Mira again right now for Barrage. And you have to feel this is going to be a kid's bedroom defense, because there's really no other place that you want to take right now. Or it could be basement again. Oh, it's basement again. All right, they're going for basement.
They could have went for the kids. Probably in my eyes, they should have went for the kids, because that just didn't work out for them whatsoever. Sure, Wiz got a couple of kills, but in the end, things didn't work out for them.
I guess maybe you're not running Mira because of the prevalence of Capitao. I don't know. Maybe you're just worried that Capitao is going to absolutely ruin your day.
Maybe it's just because they want to keep these main 5 operators. Yeah, sure, all of them have their advantages, but really, what does Legion bring in terms compared to a Mira?
Bit of zone control?
It does, but then look how much zone control Mira brings.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So it's a bit of a weird one for me. They have these very powerful operators in their hands, but they're going to say no. Very, very shocking.
The defense starts to rile up here. A very important one for Barrage. Should they lose this, they lose the series, and Guidance will take those 3 points right away from their rivals. And Barrage, although with only one sort of round on the board in this particular game, they will still not be having a pretty scoreline to work with. A 6-1 is only slightly better than a 6-0. So they definitely want to at least start to mount these defensive plays a bit better. And Guidance already making their move onto the south side of the building.
So Guidance, they have all the power in their capable hands. Even if they do lose this round, they still have that little bit of fallback available, or they only have to win one attack. And certainly even if Barrage win the next two defense, and they will have to go for a very bad one in terms of kitchen and dining, and then also the big tower and rear stage if they're feeling risky. Certainly, they still have Boogie playing this Alda, who really hasn't done a whole lot. Maestro, a very strong operator currently inside of the meta, just the sheer intel that he provides to potentially any smoke plants, and that Alda is a menace of a gun, as we already did see Guidance prove that to themselves. Exact same setup on the side of Barrage. Quite interestingly, Kizza is not going to be running the shotgun, and instead the FMG9.
What difference would that make overall? Just a bit more quick reaction, longer range?
Sure, it gives you another gun, but then again, you're missing out the potential of the shotgun, which can do a lot of damage in close range, that destructibility factor. He could make himself some own rotation holes potentially. And then of course you have the SMG11, which is pretty much a primary anyway, so you don't really need the FMG9.
There's the Legion doing a bit of work. Already just putting some pressure on, and actually ready, the Lion going down. Kendro popped off by Shady. That is a good start here for Barrage. But it's a quick return as Kizza goes down, so that will be Kizza being lost the smoke and all the zone control that provides, as Willow goes down to Hayes again. Hayes on fire as Hayes gets a third here in this trade, and that's going to be Shady going down. Complete control of the map right now for Guidance, only losing the Lion, and they've got very, very few options now as Maestro just trying to control those laundry stairs, but he has got so many angles to worry about. Up, left, right, center, coming down from the other side as well. And Guidance in a 4-for-2 situation. We have seen weirder things in terms of a comeback. There's the Thermite opening things up, and now Maestro has to worry. He does get one. He trades back into Harris. He trades another one. That's a double kill for Boogie. He's starting to open up here. But the diffuser has been picked, and now Wiz and Boogie match up again. 2 versus 2. Haz and Vex. Vex has been the standout guy so far. Can he bring it back once more? They do have that entry of Ying, remember, and that can be very powerful in these clutch situations.
Boogie playing extremely big whenever his team needs him to. This is still match point. If Barrage want any look at potentially a draw, well, they will have to win these next 4 rounds on the bounce. You can see the back push will start to be the option, opening up for Guidance. Last Candela, I believe, will also be chucked in momentarily by Hayes. Vex there trying to challenge the peak. C4 gets tossed out, but Mute doesn't manage to land anything with that, but we'll see the head of Hayes. Double kill for Wiz. Clutches up for his team, and Barrage, at least they keep themselves in it for one more round.
One more round and one more round, and suddenly we're building back to an appropriate scoreline for Barrage, heading all the way to round 8. I think after that attacking phase, you would not have expected this, but the defense is strong from Barrage. They just need to keep doing it. The loss of the Lion early on may be hitting Guidance harder than we thought, and they couldn't quite... I don't think they played it slow enough. I think they all went in on that Thermite, expecting to have those angles all sewn up with the laundry stairs. Maybe if they'd looped someone around laundry stairs and had someone on top of the hatch, they would have had a pincer movement onto the bottom side of the floor, and they might have been able to get the kill there. But they all in that hatch when Thermite came through, and that was their folly.
Yeah, just I would say great play from Boogie, being able to adapt to that scenario, hit his shots whenever he needed to. If he did miss those shots then, that would have been a completely different round, because he would have been punished by that. But nonetheless, the final 2 remaining defenders did manage to clutch up when they needed to. But really, how long can they hold out? Still match point for Guidance. Barrage, we're asking a lot of them to actually pull this back. They will have this kid's bedroom defense available for themselves, and you really aren't bringing anything out of the ordinary. Still the exact same lineup that they have brought every single time. Guidance, on the other hand, I believe that they have switched out the Thatcher for the Buck, knowingly, because they will be attacking the kid's bedroom. Buck is very, very strong in using that top-down verticality from below, inside kitchen, rip up the majority of the floors. Even can be used to get rid of an anchor inside of Armory, which is exactly where Barrage will try and station someone into. So I am liking the kind of counter pick, moving in towards the Buck, who can provide so much for a top floor defense.
Attackers recover the diffuser. Attackers' objective is to locate
Barrage have got to pull out a miracle play again. I mean, it's been good. I mean, some of the defense has been really strong. And Guidance, they've brought in a Buck for the first time, like you were talking about, and that does shape things up. It gives them a bit more entry points, allows them to cover more angles as well. And that is something that Vex has been very good at doing, finding those entries, finding those angles, getting the entry frags too. Maybe this is the shape-up that they needed. And Guidance have shown a bit more than Barrage in terms of adaptability as well. Guidance have been able to adapt to the situation when they feel like their tactics need changing, whereas Barrage have been quite stoic. kind of stuck in their ways almost in terms of what they've been picking for every situation. Maybe that is going to be their downfall here. However, we said that previously. We said that on the previous 2 rounds of Barrage were struggling, and they managed to get the kills, and they managed to get the round. It's going to be the push onto tower, the standard tower take here to find that entry point for the second floor onto Kid's bedroom.
They're very split inside of their push. You can see some people over towards the big tower, some of them entering through towards the mid floor, and then also you can see the Lion stationed over towards the double. So a lot of rotations that they're going to try and cut off. This is the thing that I said Barrage needed to do in their attacks. They just didn't do that. Willow playing very aggressive, using those holes that Vex used to, well, he tried to use against them, and picks up that kill onto the Buck. So this is looking very good for Barrage. They keep themselves in it just a little bit longer. Still half the round to go. Guidance have you know, plenty of utility still. The EE1Ds, the Candelas, the asphyxiating bolts, all that kind of stuff that they still have. And he may be looking geared to attempt the push on towards the armory. It's going to be a very risky one because you will be going against somebody who has that big rotation hole to try and, you know, kind of play those mind games where he may be inside but he may be outside at the same time. It's really going to be a bit of a sticky one, I would say, for the players of Guidance.
Losing Buck is really important, though, because suddenly now you're a little bit less concerned about defense on the first floor, because all those angles that would be opened up from down below are not going to happen as easily. And Vex also being one of the standout players for Guidance, the top fragger, also losing some slaying power on the side of Guidance. And that means Barrage are going to feel a little bit more comfortable with 45 seconds to go. Unless they make a major mistake here, they're definitely favored. That is a small major mistake. That doesn't really make sense. It's an oxymoron. But Harris gets the kill onto Shady and now secures things up 1-for-1. Now it is a 4 versus 4. Maybe, I mean, why would you ever jump out the window there? Oh.
What?
What?
What has just happened? Willow had just pulled off an insane play, hiding inside of the cover at the time. Was all against the players of Guidance, and a triple kill for Willow. 4K inside that round. Manages to pull his team out of the gutter, and they respond with another round on the board. What was that round?
Barrage gaining confidence here, suddenly mounting a comeback, and honestly, it doesn't feel like it's over yet. We are 5-3. Guidance really have to pick the ball back up right now. And Barrage looking very solid in their defense. They've suddenly found their groove, and Willow, greedy Willow, making that transition from Xbox to PC, now on 10 kills for his defensive roster. The highest frags in the game going over to our boy Willow. Still work to be done, though. Still one more win that Guidance needs to put themselves on the board. But with 2 consecutive wins on defense now, Barrage have to defend the first floor or the tower. And that is the harder ask for these guys.
Yeah, this is the bomb site, which is going to be very easy for Guidance to really take control of. They should know it's either going to be the big tower or the rear stage, and then also down into the kitchen or dining, which I'm sure they will have an easier time. And once again, Barrage, still no Mira for them. That is a really big F for them, because typically on this bomb site, Mira makes that just that little bit more bearable, a little bit more defendable. That's why we've seen Guidance defend it so easy with those Mira windows that really sanctioned off a lot of the potential pushing power that you kind of seen Barrage try to implement, and this will heavily weaken the Barrage side.
Yeah, this is the test now for Barrage, because remember, the defensive options on Oregon are good if you get to rotate between basement and second floor. And then when you get asked to defend another bomb site on Oregon, that's where things start to test you a little bit, and this is definitely a difficult defense without Mira, like you said. This is Guidance's chance now to secure this out as a 6-3 and potentially take this out. Barrage, however, are really up in confidence. They've been winning without Mira so far. Maybe they can continue to do so. Guidance have switched things up with an Ashe and a Thermite, so double hard entry coming through to an extent. There's also going to be a Thatcher and a Dokkaebi for the first time in the Prem today. So Dokkaebi finally gets her chance to show her stuff here on the Guidance gaming roster.
So you can see the majority of the players of Guidance will be formed outside of that small tower, and of course that's typically what we're expecting, is it will be a full onslaught, or you could say a full barrage onto this defense. Certainly Kendry will try and enter his way in. First time Dokkaebi being shown inside this matchup. Comboed with the Lion. This is what the combo I talked about will be very, very devastating on the side of Barrage. Unless they can play some pretty quick gun skill action. You can see the setup that Barrage have where they have the potential for the refrag. Shady trying to cover Willow, equally Willow trying to cover Shady in this scenario. And Wiz could potentially swing on round and get a refrag for himself.
Alright, Guidance and Barrage here. Oh, the shots coming at the feet. Wiz missed every shot on the foot there. Didn't manage to get any damage onto Guidance. He did have the eyes on those, so they might know where Thermite is set up. I think that was a Thermite trying to set up on a hard entry point there. Wasn't quite sure. But regardless, Barrage did have an opportunity to try and take an initial advantage here, but couldn't do so. As Guidance now look to reset and reform. Still lots of time on the clock right now.
You can see Shady, he has set himself up in a position to potentially grab a kill onto somebody who may want to rotate over towards those dining doors quite smartly. The castle has seen a potential weak point that Barrage, or should I say Guidance, may have to force themselves into, as he will try and go for the peek. Does he see the Thatcher? He does, but equally Thatcher sees him, doesn't want to peek it again first. EE1D will also be sent out along with those logic bombs. Plant will be attempted. Any C4s could try and deny this. Vex picks up one onto Wiz, 5 versus 4, but Shady will swing around and deny the defuse going down. Another kill coming out as well on the side of Barrage, but Vex, what a shot from him onto Willow. The quick peek diffuser's actually been planted inside of that Chaos, so down to Boogie Kizza. And also Shady to try and clutch it up for his team.
That was a big, big play there for Guidance. Now the pressure is onto Barrage. They have turned the defense into their attack and they have to make that move. They've lost Willow, their top fragger as well. And Barrage have got a lot of work to do as Vex goes down. Boogie picks up the kill. He's really been clutching it out for Barrage so far. 2 versus 3, but Hayes transfers back onto Kizza, who was already pretty low. Shah takes him down and Shady goes down to Hayes. Kendrew gets the kill onto Boogie, and Guidance take the match 6-3.
So finally, Barrage do fall. We thought they were going to try and keep it as long as they could, but nonetheless, Guidance definitely having that more dominating performance, especially in the early stages of that matchup. But nonetheless, we've seen the attempted strategies that Barrage tried to play. We did see some moments of greatness, but also some moments of mistakes as well, I would also add. But nonetheless, Guidance, they take the win, and they do set nice and pretty up at the top with 6 points.
That is a big, big win for Guidance. And actually, to be honest, Barrage showed a lot more life than I expected. Massive props to both Willow and Kizza as well, both the guys that I've cast previously, and I'm really enjoying seeing those guys transition over to a massive format change, because you remember a lot of these players who played on Xbox previously had to make a shift to PC, a whole different format, although the tactics remain similar. The whole gun skill has to be retrained, and to get those 3 rounds on the board, Willow being a top fragger is a really nice transition. But honestly, I think the dominant team from the outset, especially on the attack, was Guidance. Oh, rather on the defense was Guidance. Guidance's defense was so very solid up until that last round. And honestly, massive props to Vex, as well as also to Kendrew. Kendrew on that Eela especially, creating lots of angles on that second floor in the basement defense. Really good stuff.
That there was probably one of my funniest moments. Harris just hip firing Willow down to a crumb. Of course, we just seen some really good displays of gun skill, I would say, really to take away, but that's what you're expecting from Oregon. This kind of run and gun aggressive play style that really teams who have those big fraggers favor a lot more, and that's kind of why we seen Guidance win that matchup, just because Barrage, they just don't have the same gun skill that some of these players and Guidance really possess. You know, Kendrew and Vex playing massive with their kills, but still, nonetheless, Barrage, they had some pretty good points to take away, but then also some bad points as well, especially for their attacks. They really need to think about them and rework those a lot more. But yeah, I did like some of the defensive clutches on the side of Barrage.
So, here we stand as Guidance now put themselves at the top of the table. Barrage, unfortunately, did they get a draw or a win last week, or are they down at 0 points right now?
Barrage, they took a draw against Unnamed last week.
So they're still at 1-1. They got that 1 point on the board. They will not find themselves rock bottom of the table. However, they'll have a lot of work to do in the coming weeks. They could still be in contest for that mid-table positions, but it definitely looks like Guidance the real deal here in the Premiership. They find themselves smack bang at the top right now, because we have 2 more games coming your way just after we go to a short break. So don't go anywhere. We're still halfway to go in the Premiership. Lots more Rainbow Six action coming your way. See you soon. What time is it? Demo? What time is it?
I think you're probably better at doing it.
It's Siege time, and we're here halfway through the Premiership. We've got another big match coming your way. It's M&M versus Vex. Now, we've seen some pretty one-sided affairs. One-sided affairs coming through here in the first half of the Premiership. It was a 6-1, admittedly a 6-3, but that is a pretty dominant scoreline, all things considered in the grander picture. However, now we've got M&M versus Vex. I think, in my eyes, maybe one of the closest affairs that we're going to have of the night. M&M, a very strong roster, qualified with this man over to my left here. He was a pickup. The tactical mind of Demo coming in for M&M.
I fragged. I didn't even have to think.
He didn't even have to think. He was just a pure fragging machine over here. And they're going up against Vex, another very strong roster. They've got a lot of sort of high-level players on that roster as well. So I think this is going to be a close affair between these two guys. Really looking forward to matching this one up. If you had to give an edge to one of these teams, which would it be?
Have to say Vex. Just
he's a traitor.
Just purely on the fact that this Vex team looked very scary last week. They have some of the best fraggers in the league that we have. Also have great minds such as G2 Feral, who is the analyst of G2.
Actually playing in this roster.
Yeah, Pengu is not. So any Pengu fans, he is not here. But yeah, certainly imagine if Pengu was playing, then oof.
So vetoes will be coming up very shortly. We'll be able to see which map has been selected for this particular round. It is going to be Border. So things aren't, we're not the spice of variety coming through here on the Rainbow Six Premiership this week. We went Border, Oregon Border. Love to get rounded out with another Border, but regardless, we'll have to see how this one shapes up. And what do you think? How good are M&M on Border? Because you played with these guys a lot, obviously, sort of in the qualification. Is Border a strong point for them?
Yeah, certainly Border does fit around their kind of playstyle with that more slow, methodical kind of glass attempt that they really like bringing. So we'll have to see if that gets let free, first of all. I don't expect it to be, because if Vex have done their research, they've done the work that they need to do, then they'll know, yeah, do not give any players the glass potential that they do like to play.
Just waiting for a player, apparently. Again, it is 15 minutes before the game was due to start, so we can allow them a little leeway here. Now, we saw a very, very one-sided affair on Border on the first set of matches. Horizon unable to claim a victory versus Secret. And again, this is a very attacking-favoured map in terms of all the different angles you can open up, the different ways you can enter. Sort of a lot of operators operate super well. You expect to see a lot of Buck on Border, because he just, again, can open everything up for you. I think if you were banning and sort of you had the bans on both sides here, which 4 operators would you not want on this map?
Well, last week Vex did play this map against Horizon, and their bans were Lion and Clash that they decided to go with, so maybe not the Glass, which is a bit of a worry.
I'm a little bit new, and obviously some of the newer operators, I know what Lion does, for instance, like Clash. I've seen Clash banned every map so far. What does Clash offer that everyone is so scared of? Well,
Clash is a shield operator in defense, if you didn't know that, and she does have that stun effect where she can slow you down, do that free ticks of damage constantly, and she really is just more of a nuisance and a very annoying operator. She provides so much intel and really great utility that you can use, because if you looked at the way Montagna was always played, that's a real good comparison, Montagna to Clash. Kind of the same operator, do different things. Montagna has to take map control first of all. You just don't start off knowing where everything is. You have to walk on in, you take your time. As Clash, you start with all guns blazing. You know exactly what parts of the map you control. You can walk straight up, then you know where to fall back and what areas are safe. That's the big advantage you already have as Clash, is that you know exactly where everything is.
Shield operator on defensive obviously has that kind of intel that you can use, and therefore you know which angles you're able to cover. As Montagna, like he said, you need to be a bit more careful about those approaches. So we are jumping into game here. Let's see, Lion has been banned by M&M, and it is going to be the next ban coming through from Vex. I expect Glaz.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't Glaz.
Although it is Vex banning it, so...
What?
They're going to ban Ash, which does leave Glaz up now for Vex and M&M. Maybe Vex just saying we're happy to play Glaz.
Vex play Ash.
Maybe they've
nerfed Doki.
They're shaking things up here. So we are expecting maybe a Clash ban. It's going to be a Mira ban here for the side of Vex, and now M&M have that choice. Maybe ban Clash, I assume that's what we've seen primarily. Excited to see if Clash doesn't get banned though, because then we might see a little bit more spice in terms of that operator selection.
I'd imagine it's going to be Clash. It's either really going to be Clash or Maestro or Echo potentially, or even a Pulse could be another option. And it will be the Echo, yes. So kind of what I was expecting was the denial Echo really brings to these bomb sites, primarily over towards the top floor, but you do have the Clash available, which, like we said, very, very strong, especially on border, where she can provide all that intel, you know, really nullify any potential smoke pushes that maybe that the players of Vex want to go for themselves, which is going to be the case. Oh, they're just switching between a couple of those operators, and then they're probably going to sick pick onto the glass.
They did have that glass picked in, and they can switch it in and out if they want to. Doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. The sick pick phase does come through. Yeah, Glaz is going to come through. Yeah, I think they initially picked Glaz and then they switched it out, maybe expecting to find a good matchup here. But Hibana is going to be locked in. Again, we haven't seen Hibana yet, but Hibana comes through for Vex this time round. No Clash being used. It's going to be Smoke, Ela, Maestro, Jaeger, and Bandit for M&M here. So Glaz providing a lot of that long-range cover. And again, finds a lot of angles that you just wouldn't be able to cover from the inside of the house. You always have to be aware of where you're being seen from if you are the side on the defense for M&M.
So, first of all, we will be seeing the top floor defense for M&M. This will be their first chance to show us what they have in store for us. Pretty standard lineup, nothing really there that kind of catches me by surprise. They have the Smoke, they have the Maestro for that hard denial, and then they have that very aggressive room game with the Jaeger and Ela. Primarily, you're going to expect Citizen more on the Bandit trick. Very, very strong fragger. He was last week inside of that secret matchup, so we might see him do potentially the same kind of mayhem that he may cause, but then equally, Vex, very aggressive in what they provide. Jesus was a very strong operator, or not operator, a player on the side of Vex, so you're expecting to kind of see the similar players shape up and really stand up against either one. But it's still very early to tell. I'm sure this first round will kind of dictate the way the rest of the series will go.
Alright, here we go. Vex now making their moves. Going through very quickly onto that second floor here. Going to start scouting out. Capital drones come through. Jesus trying to just clear out some of those barricades and the doors, getting some angles opened up here again, taking their time a little bit as Zach on the Capital moving through here. The smokes come through, so initially just trying to create some space, and Glaz being able to see through those smokes is a massive, massive plus point. No one going to open up those angles though, so there's nothing going to be coming of this just yet.
Yeah, great bit of utility being used up by Vex. It just makes sure they can get themselves inside of the bomb site, establish their beachhead. Maestro Camera will be very strong in enabling the counter to actually be established by the players of M&M. Mostly because those Maestro Cameras can be seen through the smoke, but there you go, that nade will be tossed out and does eliminate that. So it does provide then the leeway for Feral to really use and abuse the smokes and also that OTS, which is oh so powerful in many circumstances. You can see Citizen, very aggressive shots come in, and also the plant may be trying to be established, but somehow the kills will go in favor of the players of M&M. C4 from that Citizen. He has actually a C4 on the Bandit. Quite surprising, and it's done the damage that M&M have needed to do.
Doki-san had a clear double headshot through the wood there and didn't get to take it in time, although the diffuser will come down for Zax as Doki-san does pick up his first kill, takes it down to a 3 versus 4. Now going to put the pressure onto M&M as another member goes down. They are now the ones that have to pick up the attack. And Jesus and Doki-san start fragging left, right, and center. Maestro now, Frau, moving his way through. Does get the pick up there, but will end up going down to Doki-san, who is on a very low amount of HP. Bandit, Citizen, trying his best here, but he has got so many angles that he has to cover. Peeks around the corner, popped off, and Doki-san picks up another kill, makes up for that loss earlier, and Vex to take the first round.
Well, 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 Vex starting things off very aggressive on the frags. This is where I said they started to be very scary. Whenever they have, you know, these great operators in these great crossfire positions, they always win these gunfights. M&M, we thought that was going to be a very successful and easy round for them after Vex kind of jumped the reins a little bit and, you know, just went for a straight up plant with, you know, still 1 minute 50 to go. Bit of a weird one. And of course then you can see Vex, Doki playing so big, a 4K for him. We'll see if he can keep it up, and potentially he could hard carry the rest of his team to victory.
No changes here for Vex. They're going to run with exactly the same operators. Smoke, Ela, Castle, Jaeger, and Bandit. I think is that one change? Yeah, they're going to change it to Valkyrie. Not going to run with the Maestro. Castle coming in instead as well. Basically a direct switch out for Valkyrie and Maestro, you feel. Just providing similar kind of utility there in terms of info gathering.
So we will be switching off things into a ventilation room and workshop. So
we do have a change, actually.
Yeah, Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick comes through here. So, talk to me a bit about Maverick. It's the first time I'm seeing him as well. What is he going to offer here for Vexed?
Not a whole too lot, I would expect.
Not a lot.
Honestly, Clubhouse is really Maverick's map. That is his best kind of playstyle to use the Maverick in. For Border, not so much. There isn't that many destructible walls that you can really use and abuse those blowtorches with. Sure, may open up another potential angle, but in the long terms of things, I don't really expect it to come into play all too often or too big. Certainly Thermite and Hibana is going to do most of that hard breach potential, and they will actually bring, you know, all three, which is a bit of a nice change that we do not see all too often, as sometimes we see at least one of those operators banned, but typically we don't really see all three of them picked.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Move starts coming in. Feral moving round to the south side. Jesus going to get onto that balcony as well. Opening up some angles there. Just trying to find if anybody's down on the bottom floor. Doesn't see anybody there. Just trying to look across the hallway too. And suddenly we have the roster of Vex encircling M&M, trying to find their way in every left, right, way, and center. There's the blowtorch. Just Maverick doing his best. He creates great angles with that thing as well. Just, you know, angles that you wouldn't usually be able to find as easily, and he just jumps in there as well.
Still plenty of time for Vex to make this attack work. M&M still have that upstairs control very much inside their favor. Of course, the new changes where Glaz can no longer open up castle barricades by shooting it 11 times. Instead, he can just create these bullet holes. So certainly it can be used to a good advantage if you have those really long lines of sight. And the players of Vex, this is something that we see a lot more common whenever teams try and put that heavy top floor hold, is where they then opt for the bathroom area and towards the tellers, and they just walk in and plant right beside the A-bomb site. This is something that I believe I did see Vex pull off inside of the Premiership qualifiers that they did qualify in. So certainly Feral plays extremely big inside of this round. They primarily try and plant in towards the corner that I believe Doki may try and get himself set up for, but still a lot of time that they have to get this preparation set up for.
Glaz just finding that way through the smoke again. One of the powers of Glaz is that ability to use a smoke grenade and be able to see straight through it while the enemy has no vision of you. So if you step out in a smoke grenade in a line of sight that Glaz can have, then he will find the kill. Though Nilo picks up Zach. First frag of the game going over to M&M. Very similar story to the previous round, and Vexed hoping that they can find a repeat of those end chapters. Nilo again finds a flank. Dokisan goes down. That was right in front of his face. He finally takes the kill there as well. And now it's looking good for M&M on this defense. We thought it was going to be an even set of games, and certainly feels like it's going to be that way as Frau and Feral trade 2 for 2. Dealey picks up a kill into Frau in return, and it is a 2 versus 3. It is now to Dia and Jesus. Jesus obviously performing very well for Vexed in the previous week on that Hibana. Lots of hard entry left for this team as Turtle takes out Jesus. It's now going to be a 1 versus 2 situation as Dealey picks up a return. He goes down, and that is going to be a defuse into a win for M&M.
Excellent retake strategy from M&M. I do believe that's something that they may have studied from Vex. That's a strategy that they know how to counter if they've watched back some of the VOD reviews and seen, yeah, this is certainly a play that Vex like to perform. Then, as you can see, it worked out extremely strong for them. So Vex, their strategy that I believe is very unique to them, where no other team really goes for that particular playstyle, just did not work for them. You could see the counter strats come in from M&M. They had the very good retake strategy. Great kills coming out from Nello, rotating in. I actually thought he was going to miss a couple of the kills there, but no, still gets the clutches whenever he needs to, and we certainly will, I think, have more of an even game compared to what we previously have seen.
Sledge now being switched out for Vex. They have that option to change things over, and you can see they're going to change over to a Pulse for M&M instead of the Valkyrie. The Maestro again coming through to provide the info. Smoke, Jaeger, Bandit. Lots of switches for M&M. Is this something that's pretty standard for them? Are they able to just adapt very quickly?
Yeah, they flex on operators quite a bit. They have a lot of flex potential on their side. They will bring out the Pulse, who is very deadly on this particular map. Maybe not so much on this bomb site, but we'll see if he makes it work if they want to try and play that Pulse aggressively inside of the ventilation room or workshop. Then potentially you could snag a couple of free kills onto Vex if they want to attempt to push in from that north side of the building. Still nothing out of the ordinary for M&M. They have the very stable roam game from Turtle and Citizen being established, and then you can see the clutches come in that Nello and Freo are very proficient on their anchor operators. On the side of Vex, nothing really changed. You do see that Doki still on that sledge. He does like that bit of sledge. But yeah, still Vex rocking with this glass setup.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
So no Maverick this time around. Again, I think you're right. Maverick didn't really provide much. I mean, yeah, you got an entry point, I think, down in detention. I think he entered through detention last time, but it really didn't do much for them. Maybe looking for some long range into ventilation room, but other than that, it really didn't do much for them at all. This is going to be, I think, it's a custom supply defense here coming out from M&M. What did that shape up to be like? Is custom supply something that's easier to defend?
Customs can be a little bit hit or miss. It depends really how the attackers want to play it. Will they attempt to establish that top floor control, because of course that security room does provide that entire destructibility factor, and also then that drop hatch right into the heart of that B bomb site. But instead Vex taking a very aggressive lineup. Seems to be that B bomb will be, or the A bomb should I say, will be the main objective that they want to try and establish. Prox not necessarily using the pulse as more of a rumor, instead will be using it as the intel on the bomb site. They'll see if anybody wants to try and open up that quad wall, but at the moment certainly Vex are geared up to try and take control of the supply room.
That's a really important room to take here, because that does give them the potential to push in, get that flank down as well, as Doki-san picks up the first kill of the game on to Turtle. Attempted shots through, looking for a wall bang here. Citizen not going to give anything up as Prox trades back onto Zach, a 1-for-1, back and forth, left, right and center between these two squads. You wouldn't expect anything less. We did expect this to be a close quarters affair as Citizen picks up a kill now. And Vexed find themselves a man down again on the assault. And with them shoring things up, another kill coming in for Citizen. This guy is performing, trading up time and time again. And it is another 2 versus 4 situation. Pulse should be able to, at short range, to keep most things in a safe position as he spies out another member of the Vexed roster. Although Feral trades back, Jesus trades back again, and now it's a 2-for-2.
Still a minute to go for the players of Vexed. Very good frags coming in from Feral and Jesus. Feral actually not even using his OTS. Instead, the pistol will be brought out. I'm quite surprised that Prox hasn't lobbed the C4 to potentially try and get the kill, but instead he will find Jesus running just out of the bomb site. A bit of a weird one there, and it will be down to Feral. Pushes in with the pistol, gets one, squares it off into a 1 versus 1. Prox, the birthday boy, he will fall. But Feral, he has took a lot of damage from that engagement, and Freo, all he has to do is sit back, hold the angles. He has the health advantage, has the Alda, but is he unsure that potentially you could see the glass coming in from behind him? Feral, do you know where the Maestro will be located? I think Freo does hear him, and he will pick up the kill. Very easy clutch from the Maestro. Feral falls, and M&M, they take the lead for the first time inside of the series. Good
ears there from the M&M boys, and they pick up that kill and take the lead overall. Really good start to their defensive roster right now. Vexed, who we said were probably the slight favorites coming in here, are on the back foot against M&M right now. This is a good start for these guys. And again, M&M also drawing to Secret last week, which was a big result for them. Secret, arguably that best team in the league right now. Points coming out, the points are going crazy. I think the ping, is that ping?
Yeah,
is that
like, the ping. That's a 400 ping.
His ping's like 400 right now. Is that someone from Vex? Is that Zach?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Zach.
Zach's moved to Australia all of a sudden.
Got to tell his brother to stop downloading. Stop watching Netflix!
Is that your best Londoner impression by any chance?
I don't know. Is he
well,
I just literally said it in a random accent, my man.
Well, that was definitely
what
a clip for you.
Dad, stop watching Netflix!
Still better than Dez, though.
Dez is a Londoner, isn't he? No, he's Birmingham.
No, Dez is...
he's a Brummie.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't, he's the posh part of Brum,
It's Trid that's a Londoner.
Yeah, but...
See, I was born in Birmingham, but you'd never be able to tell.
No, because you were like, what, Ipswich?
Did you just nearly say what everybody colloquially calls my town on stream? I live in Ipswich, wasn't born... Yeah, I grew up in Norfolk, near a town called Wisbeach.
So is this like nationalities with Excoundrel? Is this now the broadcast?
Went to university in Sheffield, and then moved to Ipswich after university.
To be a doctor.
Yeah, but then I just sort of gave
it. Yeah, sacked it into... Instead, cast out people playing video games. Which, to be fair, I do that as well, but... Anyway, get back to the game potentially would probably be the best advice for us before, oh dear.
If you guys are interested in getting involved on social media, by the way, you can use the hashtag ESL Prem. Also, if you go to @6NationHQ on Twitter, you can also vote in polls. Zach has unfortunately been removed from the match. Not sure.
Looks like that ping came back to bite him.
Ping came back to bite him here. Unfortunately, Vex struggling there. We are maybe staying until the end of the round here, and then we'll see whether they can sort this out. Maybe they can trade up here, because Doki-san and Feral have traded up already. They're putting themselves into a man advantage. 4 versus 5 right now is a great start. The angles come through. That is a missed opportunity onto Feral, as now angles opened left, right, and center. M&M are going to have to mount a defense here. As this is, I mean, this is a great win for them. Off the back of a disconnect from their team members. Man, that is a big, big win if they can make it happen.
Still plenty of utility that M&M still have at their capabilities. Nello will use his first gas casters. The fuse will start to be implemented. You can see once again Feral pushing in very aggressive with the OTS. Eliminates Nello, looking for a double kill, but Pulse just manages to drop down the hatch. So at least they know that Pulse will still be up and alive, so they have to be careful of potential C4 from below. And that's exactly what Prox will be looking for. Doki, he gets one more kill onto Freo, and really at this stage, what can Prox do except get a couple of C4s, even misses that one as well, and angles will be held. As soon as he rotates in, you would expect Doki to pick up the kill, and that's exactly what he will do. And Vexed, even though it was a 4 versus 5, still managed to find the win that they need, and we do go squared up once more.
Individual frags coming in strong for Vex. When they lose a member, it gets that much easier for them. We are going to be coming back here to the desk just for a moment while we get this sorted out, but it is a 2-for-2 right now, and a very close match as it stands. Neither team taking a massive advantage. When it looks like one team is rolling with it, they end up coming back in a big, big way. M&M having some great defense, but also, as you saw there, even with just 4 members from Vex, managing to mount the perfect offense too.
Yeah, certainly Doki playing very big inside of those matchups. We will see at least one more round on the side of M&M for their defense, and then one more attack coming out from Vex, and then we will see that halftime switch. So potentially we could be looking at all 10 rounds here. We could see a draw, or we could see a 6-4, which is kind of what I'm edging towards. I'm still not really sure who to go for in this scenario, because certainly Vex looked very strong on those top floor attacks, but not so much in the other ones, I would say. Definitely M&M, they've had that stable control. They've been able to see it out as much as they can. It's going to be really difficult to judge, and I'm sure after the first round of the defense and attack switch, then we will kind of have that more understanding of who will actually take that lead.
So I'll get word as soon as we can about the status of the Vex roster. I'm not sure. Zach looked like he definitely was struggling with ping, as we saw there, and unfortunately having to disconnect at the end. Means we're likely going to restart lobby, likely get back into it, and we'll just run with the score that we already have, which ends up being 2-for-2. But as you're right, we sort of said Vex looked like the confident, looked like the favourites coming in, but M&M have shown us that, especially like you said on those first floor defences, they've looked very, very strong, and this is going to be a very close round. Of course, we've had pretty one-sided affairs previously between our first 2 games where Team Secret 6-0'd, and we also had then, I think it was Guidance getting a 6-3 over their opposition. So obviously 2 very, very quick dominant rounds there for those 2 teams. This one looks like it's going to be a bit more of a sordid affair. So, I mean, on this next round coming in, I think we've not had 2 defensive wins in a row, so the selection of the bomb sites can really be anywhere right now for M&M. Are you saying that a first floor defense of either workshop or supply is the best thing for them? Yeah,
I can certainly see the vents coming out to play once again. The upstairs just hasn't worked for them. They went there twice. They did lose it twice as well. So I'm kind of expecting the ventilation room and workshop to be the one to go for. For M&M, their final defense, we'll see how the attack does change up. Will they go for the same kind of bathroom tellers where they take from that, try and push their way in with Feral on the glass? But then, as you can see, the great retake being established by the players of M&M just put that to rest very, very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see the kind of switch up and changes that both the teams will try and make. I don't really see M&M making a whole too much changes. Potentially we could see Vex just completely change up everything they've done and try and attack the top floor, try and play that vertical game more. And, you know, they're bringing Thermite, they're bringing Habana with those hard breach. Why not use it?
Just received word that we could be seeing a sub from Vexed. Unfortunately, Zach
I think I might know who potentially one of those substitutes could be.
I don't know who's listed as substitutes on their roster. Is Pengu listed as a substitute on their roster?
He is.
Oh, that would be an interesting one. If Pengu comes in, that might really,
oh
really shift the tides majorly in favor of Vex. Remember, they are allowed official substitutes. I don't know whether there is a timing rule when it comes to bringing a substitute in here. Unfortunately, I'll have to wait for word on our admins and that. They are just clearing that out because as it stands, it looks like Zach is unable to continue play due to connectivity issues, but that's why you have registered subs in this situation, and if he is available to come in and join, hopefully that will be the case. And then we can get back on with some Siege here on Border. Now, after this match, I believe we have Unnamed going up against... Now I'm going to rack my brains for the final team. I can't.
I know it. Do you know it?
No. That's
Wind and Rain.
Wind and Rain. So we're going to have Unnamed, which is the Madman's team from the previous ESL Premiership, going up against Wind and Rain, a newcomer to the Premiership. We've seen them in other games like League of Legends, for instance. They've been sort of across the board, across many other esports, but this is their first time in the Premiership, Rainbow Six.
We know a couple of the players, though.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. We know Melons, and we know Pat from last season, who played for Radix.
We will be subbing a player. I think we might be completely restarting the game, though, to give it oh, it'll be 2-2, so we're actually sort of just resetting the lobby. So it'll be 2-2. We've got a subbed-in player coming in. I will get confirmation from my production who that sub player will be specifically, so we can talk a little bit about the impact of that. But as it stands, they are going to reset that lobby. We're going to go in at 2-2. We're going to carry on from where we left off, and that is going to be an allowed substitution. Again, who are the official subs listed on the roster?
I only seen Pengu that I know of. There might be somebody else, but at the moment I seen player number 6 as Pengu.
I'm waiting just for confirmation from our sort of backroom staff to be able to tell us. They are still waiting on the official substitute. So either something's been agreed and they haven't been informed of it yet, or we have a surprise substitute coming in. It could be anybody. Could be me.
I'm thinking it might be Pengu. I have a feeling that has that kind of gut feeling.
Pengu will be subbing in. It has been confirmed.
It is Pengu. Okay, so
the best player in the world will be subbing in for the Vex roster in the ESL Premiership.
The Nut boy will come out to play.
And I'm not even taking this out of context. Demo literally said, I said, oh, Pengu. He goes, yeah, the best player in the world. So
it's proven fact. The guy has won the most. He has won the most championships. I believe he has the all-time current kills inside of a game. You know, what can you really say about him?
Does this massively shift the favor in Form of Vexed?
I'm pretty sure you know the answer to that. You don't even need to ask me for that.
That was a rhetorical question. It absolutely has shifted things massively in favor as Pengu on Dockerby comes through here for Vexed. Immediately back into the game. We are 2-2, remember, so this is the final attacking round for Vexed and M&M. I mean, if they take a win off Pengu, I'm sure they'll be very happy. Clash comes in for the first time as it was not banned. That's going to be going over to Prox. Actually switches over at the last minute to Pulse with that 6th pick. And everything has been locked in as it stands.
Yeah, so it will be that ventilation room and workshop, which is what I was expecting on the side of Vex. We'll have to see how Pengu does. I'd imagine he will just be, you know, what he usually does and just be Pengu. And it's kind of, we see a kind of Vexed and G2 kind of split here. So it's a multi-talented team, to say the less.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Right, here we go. This is it for Vex. They could solidify themselves a very slim lead going into their defensive phase. Pengu coming through again on that Dockerby, and you'll know more about Pengu than I will. Dockerby, good for him? Is anything just good for him? Is that just literally just a question that I shouldn't be asking?
He can just play really anything he needs to. That's the kind of flex player he is. He can just perform whatever he needs to do. Of course, this isn't going to be his main team, but still, nonetheless, I'm sure he will prove to be pretty vital. M&M, this has made things just a little bit more harder because you do now play against Pengu, who I didn't think was actually playing inside of the Pre. I'm sure he was on the substitute roster, but I spoke to him and he said, yeah, I'm not going to want to play a match of Prem. He wants to let, you know, these guys from Vex do, this is, you know, their first big breakthrough league, to actually have a bit of that experience.
And unfortunately, connectivity has forced him to move in onto this roster, and you can see now following Pengu here, going to start the scouting process. It is going to be, like you said, the ventilation workshop defense here, and M&M have been good on that first floor defense, and has been their strength against this Vex roster on the attack so far. As Glaz also on the side of Vex, something that actually Feral has made really good use of. Tended shots coming through here, not going to spy out anybody just yet. but was in the right line of sight to try and pick off one of the M&M members just hiding out in that particular vicinity.
So already a couple of the walls will be breached by Vex, primarily in towards that detention, so they certainly could be looking for that same kind of push where they want to establish that not really that domination of the top floor, but more in towards the tellers and that customs. Providing that access to the custom just kind of blocks off any potential rotations that the players of Vex may want, or should I say M&M want to go for. Doki still retaining that fragging potential even after the rehost. He will eliminate the smoke. A big kill for him. Another frag gets tossed out by Doki. Doesn't manage to land anything that time. And certainly the push will start to come in, as I'm sure we will see Dearly open up the wall along with Doki, who's actually going to snag a kill right onto the pulse. No, he doesn't, as Prox will somehow win that engagement. C4 gets tossed out as well, but to no avail, as it doesn't manage to land anything. And Feral, he will follow up as the glass. Prox will be eliminated, and finally, Dearly can go ahead and open up the wall.
3-3 though, as Frau trades back. Does take a lot of his life in return though. Pengu now making his way through. Will take the shot onto the camera there. That will stop anybody spying him out as it stands. And that is going to be Pengu now picking up his first kill into Frau. Only took one bullet, could have hit him anywhere on the body, as Pengu now trading up again. Does get taken down by Citizen though, who will get the flank onto him, and now into a 2 versus 2 situation. But the diffuser is down, so the pressure is now on M&M to respond here, and the angles are being covered by Vexed as it stands.
Yeah, really at this stage it should be Feral cleaning up house. He has the angles onto the diffuser. Citizen going to try and retake as much as he can, but somehow Turtle won that engagement. Citizen turns on Dearly, and that will be the clutch coming in from M&M. The two remaining German operators somehow make it work. That is an unwinnable position that somehow they have won from.
And now they go into the attacking phase ahead, 3-2. Vexed super sub really didn't have the impact you might have expected, although, look, you can't really just expect to sub him into a random team and see him play at the same level he plays on G2, but regardless, now we move on to that attacking phase. And we'll see what comes through as it is now switched over to M&M.
So the attacks will be taken up by M&M, just like you said, and we will see more, I would say, of a change of pace compared to what we've seen Vex go for of the very heavy glass pushes, but at the same time, we're going to see Nello pick up that glass that we've seen him be so dominant on against Secret last week. Citizen throwing a bit of a spanner into the works. M&M, they did lose their Ash because Vex did ban it out, but no, it was just a bit of a bait, and the Maverick instead will be brought to the table. A very stable lineup from M&M. They have the hard breach, they have the denial of any gadgets with the EMP grenades, and also Sophia always helps with a bit of soft destruction, and the utility that she provides with her fragging potential and those concussion mines can be very strong. Looking at the side of Vex, they have a very heavy lineup. The Doc does provide, I would say, a lot more of you know, that kind of heal synergy that sometimes a player could get downed right behind the half wall. You can go ahead and stem him up from. Potentially inside of B, which is something that can happen, and Doki, he really likes MP5 ACOG. He was fragging out with it last week very heavily on this map. So we'll see if he can do a bit of the same again, or will it be a different story this time around?
Also going to have Pengu on the Valkyrie. A lot of information collecting. Sorry, I'm almost dying here.
10 seconds remaining.
Stop dying. Good.
Good.
Now Vex have that pressure on them, because if M&M can start to take rounds very early on here, they'll be very quickly closing up to that 6-round win. And to take that off Vex would be a big win for M&M after their win after Secret. The draw with Secret.
So still plenty of time for M&M. Just I hope that my co-caster doesn't fail for me, and I just really hope that you stick around with it, or else I may have to say that potentially Dez could have been better for you, which I never want to say.
Wow. I don't think that's ever been said in the history of casting.
No, I don't think so. But
Dez,
you know,
better than Nick Scoundrel. Yeah, right, mate. All
he can really cast is, you know, quad tank with all the Overwatch stuff, which he does. That's about it.
Yeah, to be fair, he can cast Overwatch pretty well, so you know, I can't really take that away from him. So, moving back on now, Vexed mounting that defense. They are running with a 4-2 defense on the Armory and Archives. Who will win this match? This is from Six Nation HQ, by the way, guys. If you want to get involved and talk a little bit about the Rainbow Six matches, 63% of you said Vexed eBuyer are going to win this, and right now 63% of you are wrong because Eminem is in the lead 3-2, although it is not over just yet. As Thermite now looking for a hard entry here. We'll start things off as Bandit, I think, stop that in its tracks.
Yeah, the potential Bandit trick was implemented by the players of Vexed. Puts them off into a very good start, as that does allow only Freo to have one more opportunity at getting rid of that. Jesus, he has played so big on the Maestro last week, and certainly he will continue that reign of terror with the Alda, eliminating Citizens. So the big fragger for Eminem will go off the board. Nello trying to peek his way in, using the advantages that the Glass does provide, and does manage to down one, but this is where Doki will come in very big with the Doc that we were discussing in the chaos. The Texan Dynamite will be blown. You can see the head of the Dog, but Nello misses the shot. Doki tanks one and manages to scurry away out of that half-wall rotation, and just like we said, that will be dearly getting picked up by that stim pistol. Turtle trying to find his best to at least snag one kill onto Pengu, who has rotated himself in towards the server room for a potential C4 from below.
Really, really good start here from Vexed, and the Doc coming in a huge. Glaz unable to convert on a couple of those kills, and Dokistan trades back. It is a 1-for-1 though, as Frau gets a frag onto Dearly. Here comes the smokes coming through with 40 seconds to go. The zone control is starting to open up for Vex, and low HP bars are going to be punished as Dokistan picks up another one. You weren't wrong about the MP5 as Pengu picks up the next, and it is Thatcher versus the world at this point in time. I really don't know if a 1v4 Fat Thatcher is going to happen, but stranger things have happened indeed.
Pengu looking for his final kill potentially inside of the round. He knows exactly where the Thatcher is. It's kind of just an impactless frag. Thatcher does manage to land the shots, but no. Pengu, he will assert his dominance and just takes that Claymore. And then we will move into Vex winning their first defense, and they look a lot scarier, I would say, on their defensive rounds compared to what Eminem looked like on theirs.
I agree, absolutely. That was a very solid defense from Vex. The Doc coming in huge for Dokistan. Although, I feel like Eminem missed some opportunities on that Glaz engage where they could have taken a couple of headshots here or there, and that would have converted very quickly, especially the open headshot onto Dokistan that he had. That might have really changed things up for Eminem, but regardless, can't really talk about what has happened in the past. Hindsight is 2020, but Doc will come through again for Dokistan. Maestro, Castle, Bandit, and Valkyrie, not much changing up for Vexed. Glaz, Thermite, Maverick, Zafia, and Thatcher, so a similar lineup, although Montagna swapped out at the last minute here for Eminem, and that changes strategies up very heavily.
Well, okay. That's a bit of a weird one for me. Typically, we see Montagna comboed with a Glaz because you can really just play that big powerhouse that is that Glaz right behind the shield. He can walk on in, give the callouts, and then it's pretty simple for you know, the OTS to do the damage. It's exactly what it does. Also, Montagna brings an extra 2 smoke canisters, but you're going to bring it and then not follow up with the Glaz that you've been so strong on. It's a really weird one for me. Maybe they just want to try and a different strategy that maybe they prepared. I'm not too sure really where Eminem's going to go for this.
That is the first Montagna of the entire tournament so far, by the way. So something that we saw a little bit of in the previous Premiership is the first time it has been brought out here in our second season of the Rainbow Six Premiership here at ESL. So again, it does shake things up just a little bit, and again, Montagna gives you lots of zone control when you are an attacker, gives you plenty of engaged potential, also just requires some kind of attention. Will always draw some of the defenders to you, which is what Montagna is designed to do. He's designed to take punishment but draw defenders away and create space for the rest of your team.
Yeah, perfect example of that would probably be if Montagna wants to push in towards the armory. It kind of brings that fear factor for a defender where if you're there and you see the Montagna, you can't kill him. He knows exactly where you are, and he's giving callouts to the rest of his fragging potential team. That's like the thing that Montagna does best, is just stands there, gives the information. You can't do anything about it unless you want to gas him, but then that wastes utility, which is exactly what Montagna wants. And then also the fact that Montagna can very easily quick switch into his pistol and kill you either way if you look away. So it's kind of that 50-50. Do you want to look at Montagna? Do you not want to? And risk that kind of potential. And this is exactly what these players will try and run into. A very top-heavy defense on the side of Vex. There'll be 4 people upstairs. Nello stabs dearly, but straight away will be refragged. So they took the Bandit for the Montagna. A great trade for Vex. And it does put them up into an early lead as that first bit of potential pushing will get shut down on the side of M&M.
That was a super aggressive push by Nilo, and they actually rushed the Montagna. I think they forced him to open up his defense, and he managed to trade 1-for-1. Remember, that is a huge Pengu. Whoa, Pengu! That is what you expect from one of the best players in the world, just reading those angles so well. Gets the immediate kill onto Citizen, who, in my opinion, has been one of the standout players for M&M in this series so far, and suddenly Vexed are starting to open up and run away with it in these defensive rounds. Every member still healthy apart from the single bandit going down early. And Doki-san holding that angle there. Pengu immediately getting a rotation out, and Feral as well covering more angles on that second floor. I think you saw him on, maybe the first floor, but regardless, M&M right now, they are the ones with the pressure on their side.
They have rotated over towards the security and have opened up the armory wall to establish their first bit of beachhead, but the damage has been done by Vex. They have wasted enough time where they can start rotating players downstairs, as it will only leave Feral on the actual bomb site. Jesus still playing this Alda in behind half wall, a very difficult position for the majority of players to deal with a defender, and the peek comes in from Doki, but then Freo automatically there with the refrag. Prox trying his best to get a kill. That's exactly what he will find onto Feral. So the last two remaining defenders will be Pengu and Jesus. Pengu did retreat for as much as he can. Jesus holding his ground.
Pressure is on now for M&M though, because they only have 30 seconds to start that diffuser. 20 seconds now timing down as well. You can see them moving in. Pengu holds the angle. Pengu gets the first down. Pengu looking for the second. Immediately trades in a 2-4 for Pengu. And Vexed win the round.
M&M just not enough time on their side, just frantically running in whenever they really didn't need to. They still had, I would say, at least a good 10-15 seconds there to have that final bit of drones. Maybe they were out of drones, they couldn't really opt for that, but nonetheless, Pengu clutching up for his team. I still believe that Jesus upstairs would have done the damage anyway, because he had those holes in the floor to deny that plan. Also the drop hatch, if things did get a little bit messy, and that attempted attack from M&M. They lost their Montagna very early on. Things just kind of fell apart from there. They didn't have the refrags coming out. They didn't have the intel that they needed. You could see that Pengu, he got a very easy kill onto Citizen as he went for the rotate. That's the lack of drones. If you do not do your basic right, this is where the best players in the world will punish you for that.
Blackbeard being opted into by here for M&M. And again, Blackbeard is one of those operators we saw a lot of in the previous Premiership, but has been dropping off a little bit. Actually switched back into Montagna. I always forget about that 6th pick. Montagna coming out again for Nilo. Needs to be a bit more careful, I think, with that aggressive maneuvers that he made in the previous round, because he opened himself up. And I know Montagna does do that. Like, Montagna's supposed to draw fire, supposed to draw pressure. He unfortunately left too many angles open for him, and when the M&M rushed, Vex rushed and took a 1-for-1 trade, once you take out the Montagna, you lose so much from your composition when you pick him.
So we will move into a bathroom and tellers, which Vexed have been forced to because they did previously defend the top floor and also that bottom floor of the ventilation room and workshop. So they had the choice between the customs that we did see M&M at least try and attempt, or also the bathroom and tellers, which we have not seen played yet. So they will opt for this particular bomb site. So really what they're expecting is that very heavy top floor control, potentially a couple of anchors downstairs in the actual bomb site. So you could either play Doki in there or Jesus. Really an ACOG with the thick armor can do a lot of good damage to any potential attack. M&M, they have finally taken a bit of words of advice, and they have decided to combo that Montagna with the glass. They really needed to have that kind of main pushing power because they just didn't have it with their old lineup. They missed out on the glass, and even, getting rid of that Ash that Citizen played so comfortably last week. Great target ban for Vex, just looking at it on paper.
Let's see what Nilo can manage this time around. And again, like you said, I love the combo with the glass and the Montagna, because Montagna creates space, and glass can really capitalize on that by, when you force. When Montagna comes through, he forces your team into awkward angles because of the way the Montagna pushes. You sometimes open yourself up where you shouldn't be opening yourself up, and that's where glass can try and capitalize. And take some of the outside cameras out as well. Just need to remember that they are there, and Valkyrie can utilize them. As Montagna now moving through, just walking straight towards Vex. And you can see Doc, again, those angles being opened up by Montagna. The information being provided is almost impossible to trade back for, but it is a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day as Doc goes down. Oh, Pengu picks off another onto Prox. Pengu now picks up another. What can you do to stop this man? It is another 2-4 as Feral. Now, Montagna versus the world, but I don't know how far Montagna's going to get here as the C4 comes out. The pistol comes through. It's actually decent play from Montagna, but all you need is a flank right now, and he will be struggling.
Quite smartly, the players of Vex know, yep, it's a Montagna. Let's not go near him. Let's throw a couple of Pokeballs. Try and catch yourself a Montagna. They are playing Pokemon Go in their own game, but nonetheless, that will be it. Of course, other game titles are available. Just doesn't have to be Pokemon
like
Go.
Digimon Go and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go, where you can sort of capture dark magicians.
Yeah.
Other card games are available. Magic the Gathering Go.
Hearthstone and other Premiership, but again, other card games are available.
Yeah, and Artifact, which isn't out Go. I heard that one's a good one.
But do you know what really isn't available? Any potential hope that Nello actually clutches up this round?
I mean, it's difficult. Right now, Vex are just retreating back towards those bombs. They're forcing Montagna to open himself up. You can see he's going to start to smash through here. Will open things up, and he's immediately highlights himself, turns his back, and Pengu picks up the kill. 3 kills for Pengu. The super sub doing some work here for Vex.
Who would have thought that the best player in the world would be doing well? Huh?
It took him a round to get into it, but he's certainly started to ramp things up here for Vex.
Eminem just after that sub changes really cost them, but people may complain saying, oh, players like this shouldn't be able to play. This is a league that helps amateur players get better. If you want to try and make your way into the Challenger League, just a tier below Pro League, which I'm sure a team like Eminem are trying to strive for, you will come against some of the best players in the world. How are you going to expect to get any better if you don't play against them?
You got to beat him at some point.
Yeah.
You got to beat him at some point. At the end of the day, if any one of these players are just, not trying to strive to be the best, then you're not in the right place. At the point in time, though, Eminem now face a match point for Vex, and Vex have been absolutely stalwart. Love that word, stalwart in their defense. You can see Alex, our observer, shaking his head because it's the first time I've said it in Premiership. I used to say it all the time. I'm going to say it more just for his liking. And it doesn't really feel like Eminem have a good answer here. Capital being considered by Eminem as being switched in. And it is going to be Capital. So the first time that we see a Capital, Bandit will be locked in. Switch being thought of immediately. No, they're going to go for the Capital. And that's the first time that Eminem will bring the Capital to the offensive roster here.
So the Montagna just not really working for Eminem. They tried to pressure these players of Vex as much as they could, but Vex being able to play around the shield operator, something that some teams actually do struggle against. I know at the Euro Cup on the weekend, Pentasports played against the Vodafone Giants, and Vodafone Giants, they played Montagna 5 rounds out of 5 in their attacks, and really Pentasports just couldn't adapt. That's what happens to teams if you are used to playing against Montagna. Pretty sure it was like the biggest thing that we took away was Penta just are not good against shields in that scenario. And then I believe in the final of that it was Empire versus Vodafone, and then kind of Empire showed us that how to counter a shield, and certainly Vex, they are doing just that against the Montagna, and they will have this top floor defense that they defended with so much ease last time, and even Jesus getting a little bit frisky for himself going for a spawn peek.
Eminem have the walls racked up against them. They really need to try and pick up a win here because they are just 1 round away from losing this particular game versus Vex, to have really ramped up since that sub-in from Pengu. Eminem came in with a round score of 3 and still are at a round score of 3. There's been 3 wins on the trot for Vex as they went onto their defensive side. That dock actually has been a really good pickup for them. Saved them in a couple of instances, but Eminem have been lacking a little bit on execution as well. Pengu's roam on the Valkyrie has been absolutely insane as he looks to try and get onto that northern balcony there. As Citizen has already moved away from it, so Pengu won't find much love. There's nobody on his side of the map right now, so the roaming positions that he found in the previous game are not going to give the same kind of reward for him as they did. However, there is that opportunity for Eminem to rotate back that way.
Eminem will be looking to put all of their eggs in one basket, and that will be towards that armory push. Definitely the one that suits a Glaz the most, as he can just walk on in, just like we've seen Feral do with the Vexed attack Citizen. He's going to try and set himself up for any potential rotations that a player like Pengu may want to do in C4 from below, which is very, very common, and also can get rid of the Bandit, attempting to go for the Bandit trick, and just nearly the pressure was put onto him, and he will scatter away in towards the half wall. Still a very difficult position, but as we can see, Turtle picks up the Capital, which will be able to have those asphyxiating bolts to do a lot of damage to that half wall area.
Actually, you can see the move in here through security And there's a lot of sort of control over security and customs right now for M&M, and I believe they've already picked up their first kill. The Capital Bolt, I think, takes one. They take down Doc as well. This is a great resurgence from M&M. When they are facing down match point, they are able to respond really nicely as they make a very slow, methodical push now on the east side of, or the west side of the building, rather, on the west balcony. Shots coming through. Pengu picks up a kill. Can Pengu save the day right now? As M&M Gaming do have the diffuser. Pengu does get out of the smoke. Flash is coming through, but he holds his ground. He's just going to look for that opportunity as smoke is creating a lot of space. He does get taken down, though, as Feral picks up a kill. Actually, no, he doesn't. We just switched over. That was very, very close. Jesus is on the floor. Could be getting up right now. And Pengu will do that, bring him back to half HP, but trades his life for Citizens there for the 2-4, and it's now up to Feral, who can't do it, as Nilo picks up the round, and M&M finally get back on the board.
So we'll go 5-4, our final round of the series. It will be round number 10. This is it. It will decide if Vex walk away with all 3 points and go right up at the top of the table along with Guidance, or will M&M take another draw for themselves? And again, I would say if M&M take this draw, it will be very, very strong for them leading up, because M&M have now played against Secret and played against Vex, the two strongest teams in it, and now they just have to play everybody else.
Exactly. They have got the roster of what's the one beginning with G?
Guidance.
Guidance. I always want to say Guardians, but I know it's not Guardians.
Guardians of the gaming.
Yeah, it's Guidance. So they do have Guidance left available, who is obviously doing really well, but they have had a little bit weaker opposition. We'll have to see, though, because Vex still have had a strong defense. M&M finally find a crack in that defense, but regardless, they need to do that all over again. The Capital worked out so well for them on that previous map, though. It looks like they're going to roll with it once more.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
So the final round will be staged inside of the ventilator room and workshop, which is where Vex have defended and have already won on this bomb site. They're not going to opt for the top floor once again, so they're going to switch things up to the secondary bomb site that they have picked. We'll see if they can have that kind of same split where they had 4 up top and then only 1 roaming inside of Customs, really going for that big retake strategy. M&M, they kind of just went for the all-in push for that top floor attack, but really just fell short. The angles were being held by the players of Vex, and certainly just the refries came in a lot stronger than I would say M&M anticipated. But still, 1 more round to go to the side. It could go either way. Whoever gets these first couple of refrags and kills on the board, then that kind of does dictate to see how the rest of the round will play out.
M&M looking like they're going to run with a very similar slow-paced strategy. Citizen again making his way over to that east balcony. That's what he did previously. It's not going to extend too far up to the north, though, because when he went up to that north side, that is where Pengu was able to strike. That's one of Pengu's favorite locations. It's just in archives on that north balcony, able to pick up a kill if you extend too far. Citizen, I think, learned from that previous kill and has not extended that far up north. More inclined to move with his team as a unit, and that's what has been impressive about M&M on the previous round. A very strong unit move, covering every angle themselves as they move up, no one going solo. Maybe there is questions being raised as to whether Vex was roaming enough in that situation, but regardless, M&M off to a pretty slow and steady start once more.
So still pretty all quiet on the western and eastern front. Nothing a whole lot happening that we can really talk about. I'm sure that M&M are just setting themselves up for this final couple of pushes. I'm quite proud of myself that I haven't done any M&M puns. Something that I really have, have a bit of an addiction to. But thankfully to M&M puns awareness, it has helped me through this tough time.
That's all peanuts, mate.
Oh dear. Well, looks like you caught it as well.
Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. So, again, slow and methodical for M&M. Like I said, nothing crazy going out right now. And that might play more into the favor of M&M, because Vex seem to be preying on a bit of the disorganization of that M&M roster. Here comes the thermite charge. I think it will go off. Yeah, it will. I think there was a charge on the wrong wall, and that will open up a hard breach into the area where Vex are currently controlling. I'm not even quoting that. Jareth Barker, 2018. What, you're not quoting the Peanuts thing. And anyway, that's going to be a first knockdown onto Frau. Feral gets the kill there, and now Feral forced to rotate, but Nilo very quick to trade off a 1-for-1 trade right now. That is the Thermite going down. Already got a charge off though, so that's not the worst thing in the world. As a massive roam from Pengu comes in, he takes off one, he's looking for his second. That was a big run in by Pengu. Nilo picks up Pengu now though, as Pengu goes down. Doki-san is able to trade in very quickly. Right now the 1-for-1 trades going in favor of Vexed, as Prox now on Buck looking for the angles. Hasn't opened up much on the map and will be trying to get that defuse off in the corner, as the rest of Vexed using that lofty ceiling area to try and keep control of this bomb site.
Players of M&M in an extremely awkward position. So many players still left for Vex to clutch this up. They have all the holes above. Citizen, an amazing shot from him. Dearly picks up one onto Citizen, so it will be all down to Prox. Diffuser has been planted, but really at this stage, you can see the teamwork that Doki and Dearly will try and exterminate.
Oh, wait a second, Prox
gets the clutch against the players of Vex. I thought that was going to be all said and done, but no. Somehow, M&M pull off the clutch and really pull off a massive upset against Vexed, and they will at least snag themselves a draw. And Vex, well, we've seen Pengu come in 11 kills, but everybody else just not there for it. Wow.
Vex too heavy. Vex far too heavy. Pengu couldn't carry it all. There, and it looked like it was all going to go in favor of Vex right at the end, but M&M Prox with a clutch end. Just moving at separate times there. It was very simple. They both went in one by one, a little bit like Lemmings, and that was an easy cleanup. They should have really pincered in at the same time so you were able to focus one of them, the other one got the shot. That's what you do. You trade off to 1-for-1 if you're in a 2v1 situation. However, massive congratulations to M&M to bringing it back. It looked all game over 3 rounds into that defense for Vexed, but they managed to clutch out the draw, which puts them now at 2 points. But that you know, that might not sound like a lot, but as Demo said during the cast, they have just faced the 2 best teams in the league and got draws. If they can take draws from the 2 best teams in the league, you expect them to take wins versus the lower end. And that means M&M are looking like big favorites now to make it towards those playoff stages, maybe even a direct live final spot.
Yeah, just an absolute nutcase of a round. I was kind of expecting this to be the most closest match we've had, and certainly that was the case. Even though we did lose Zach pretty early on, Pengu, you can really see just the complete player skill gap in both of these teams in terms of where Pengu is in his career compared to everybody else. But as you can see, M&M just pulling out all the stops. Big plays from all of them, and somehow M&M, they were really down in the gutters, a 5-3 deficit for them, but they did pull it back for those final 2 rounds, clutches it out. I thought this was it. As soon as Pengu got that kill, I thought that was it, over and done with. Prox should never have won this position in his life, but somehow he did.
I mean, that was just a 1 in from the left, 1 in from the right. 1-2 to the left.
Where was
right,
the communication? It wasn't there.
It didn't feel like they really had the right plan going into that. And it was a really good place for Prox to hold out as well, because he had a pretty decent cover in that situation. But massive congratulations for M&M bringing it back there. It looked like it was all said and done. And that brings us right round to our final match of the day, which will be coming up next. It will be between Unnamed, and it will be the we forget the Wind and Rain. There we go. I'm good at this. It'll be Unnamed versus Wind and Rain will be our final match of the day. Unnamed obviously having a Madman and some previous players on our Xbox Premiership, and see how they'll do against Wind and Rain, who have looked like they've struggled. We'll be back after a very short break. Welcome back to the League of Lion here, powered by Intel and coming from Curry's PC World. It's all about Lion on this show. You know, Lion, 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 Lion. The best operator in the world is Lion. So I'm just doing this to annoy my my product manager, who told me I talked about Lion for 2.5 hours. Oh, well, I love you so much.
He's a big topic, you know.
Yeah, I know. To be fair, probably mentioned him like maybe 10 times this entire broadcast, which has been about. It's been about 2.5 hours actually, so might have mentioned Lion a few times. We have got another game coming your way. It's going to be Unnamed versus Wind and Rain. Didn't forget it that time round, and this, according to Demo, is going to be a quick 6-0.
Hey, stop quoting stuff. I only say this stuff so it doesn't get read on there, so it's like I don't fall out with the teams, but I didn't even say it. I can deny it. You know, you've no proof.
I just said that on the spot. Just whenever I want to say something, I just want to throw Demo under the bus. I just say Demo said it. So yeah, Demo said that Madman's terrible, and also
that part is true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's fair. You did say that. Right, we are going to be waiting a little bit for the players here. We are again ahead of schedule. Some of these games earlier in the night are very quick. We've got 10 minutes until the next game was scheduled to start, so we're going to wait a little bit longer. Let's play a new. We're going to invent a section of the show called Daddy Demo, and it's going to be about Rainbow Six knowledge.
This isn't good. This is not the kind of opening we need.
Right. So I'm inventing this section of the show now.
Oh dear. This is giving me Vietnam flashbacks at the moment.
Daddy Demo.
Oh dear, don't.
If I want to go into Rainbow Six solo queue, and I want to pick an operator on attack who's often banned.
I can't. I'm about to laugh. I can't do this.
And this operator can boost all of your team and help them get the entry. What operator should I be picking?
I think you know what operator to go for.
I can't say it. I want to hear it from you.
Lion! Everybody's favourite.
Oh, that concludes our section of the show called Daddy Demo. Right, we're going to move on to the vetoes. We've had the picks and vetoes. I don't know if we're close. I don't think we're close to ready.
Another Oregon.
It's going to be Oregon. So it literally went border Oregon. Everybody is in the lobby. We are good to go as soon as we get onto this map. I'm like the master of filling. I can literally, I can invent show sections on the fly. That was brilliant.
This is not a recurring theme. This is not a recurring theme.
Tune in next week at 9:50 p.m. for your next installment of Daddy Demo, and he will tell you exactly what you want to play on defense. You'll pick his top operator for defense. That'll be the pick next week. And actually, we're going to have a full-blown thing. We're going to have a jingle. We're going to have an associated YouTube series where you can go and check Daddy Demo's pick of the week, where he'll talk about an operator. This week it was Lion. Next week it's going to be I'll pick for him Clash. And then we'll keep talking about operators every week. So thanks, bud. You're an absolute asset to this show. Everybody,
yeah, true, right? I am.
Everybody that we know loves you, and we're so happy that you're here.
Thanks. I think.
So, Unnamed versus Wind and Rain. Let's actually talk about these teams. Unnamed, the team that's sort of coming from Madman's roster, the previous Premiership winners. They were already playing on PC, like you said. They were literally just playing on Xbox to compete in the last Premiership, and are now made that full transition over to the PC unit. Wind and Rain, talk to me about these guys. Why have they been struggling?
Well, Wind and Rain, we do have 2 players from Xbox as well who transitioned over. Actually, the full team did play on Xbox, and they've transitioned over to PC in the recent months, so yeah, they're kind of, I would say, the team that doesn't have that kind of skill gap between them. Also, on the side of Unnamed, you have some ex-pro players as well on the lineup, such as Titan Ninjas, who everybody should remember from Barrage back in Year 2, Season 1 of the ESL Pro League. But certainly Wind and Rain, they got off to...
Everybody should remember him?
They should, because they were the first team ever in history of Pro League to get 10-0'd.
To get 10-0'd?
To get 10-0'd by Ints.
That's not a thing you want to be remembered by, though.
Still in it.
So you're saying this pro, literally the only thing that this pro has to his name is that he got absolutely smashed.
Yeah, actually, I believe, because they used to do pre-game interviews as well, and he actually had something on the back of his wall saying that we will beat Ints or something like that, stupidly.
Oh no, feels bad, man. Anyway, he was a good player at some point, even though he got absolutely.
He still is. He will. You'll see.
I'll see.
Everybody will see.
I'm here. I'm just here for the ride, you know. Like I'm just attached to demo, like a small child. Just
You're here because I physically have to have somebody else, or else they will not push the show.
Exactly. I am here simply because Demo can't do the whole thing. Well, Demo could do the whole thing.
I could. They're not letting me, though. They won't let me.
But I don't know if it'd be great for broadcast. So I'm just here to have, like, I don't know, like light refreshment of humor. Maybe just say some map call-outs here and there.
Just
maybe
ask me so many questions.
Literally just name some operators. Name
Lion.
Specifically
Lion's
Lion.
a good one.
Just
yeah.
name him over and over again. In fact, if we could have just like 5 Lions in attack, that'd be great.
No. Now you're really treading on water with the Siege community at this stage.
What's the problem with 5 Lions?
Chat, get him.
No, I know Lion's pretty strong, so.
Yeah, just, you know, chat, you have my back. This guy, he's with another game. This isn't his primarily game.
No, it's not, but I do really enjoy Rainbow Six.
Yeah, you do.
I love watching
You're doing
Rainbow
good, bud.
Six.
You're doing good.
I kind of suck at playing it, but I do really love watching it. And
just play it more, you get better.
Yeah.
That's
But
a
thing is, I've got to play like loads of different games. So it's like
that's true.
It's like time investment. When you're in
Swiss Army knife, but for video games.
Literally, I'm a Swiss Army knife of casting. You have to like I don't know what to like. Separate your time out, ration your time between different games. And because like League of Legends is my primary game, like the majority of my time goes in that game.
Other esports titles are available. You have to get that in there.
Yeah,
you know?
like Dota 2 and Rainbow Six, Hearthstone, Rocket League, other games. No, all these other things. No direct competitors of Rainbow Six though, because Rainbow Six is the best FPS ever created, and we are heading into.
Bold statements.
That's not a bold statement.
I agree, but I'm just saying bold statement.
Nah, it's not a bold statement. I think it's an absolute 100% true statement. Do you not think so?
I think we should get into the game.
We are into the game. Wind and Rain are going to be banning here. I forgot to wear my flat cap. No. Oh, I was told I was allowed to wear my flat cap. You see. And I didn't wear it, and now I've missed my opportunity. It is going to be a Thatcher ban coming out for Wind and Rain here. Now Unnamed have the ban on attack. What do you make of that Thatcher ban?
That's something that we see sometimes, something that may not be as common as you would expect. But yeah, Thatcher, typically what that kind of tells us that Wind and Rain, they're going to go for the mute jammer trick, which is something that you can do that we actually previously did see Barrage try and attempt to in the second game of tonight, where it's kind of where you deny every bit of access onto that main lobby hatch with those mute jammers. But as you can see, the very standard and common bans being established by Unnamed will be that Lion and also will be that Mira as well.
Sorry, can you repeat that last ban again?
No.
Oh, damn.
You can.
I won't, because he'll take another penny away from my fee every time I say.
You must be on about 0 at this stage.
Just said 2 pennies. Oh no. Oh god. Regardless, there are the lineups that have been locked in. Mira and Echo, very popular defensive bans coming out here. So we won't be seeing Mira, who I think has actually been the most banned operator. I think Mira probably has been the most banned operator throughout the night. I think she's been banned in 3 of our 4 matches. We only saw her in 1, which was Oregon on the second series. Hibana, Dokkaebi, Zafia, Sledge, and Blackbeard in the reveal phase here for Unnamed, and it's going to be Jaeger, Vigil, Maestro, Bandit, and Smoke. Now, there is the opportunity to switch out to an IQ potentially if you're really worried about the Vigil, but regardless, it is going to be Vigil locked in, which is the first Vigil of the night that we've seen as well.
Yeah, so Vigil does provide a lot of that roam potential in that roam game, so I would imagine that we're going to be seeing a very heavy meeting hall control coming out from the players of Wind and Rain. I would say this is a pretty big test for Wind and Rain. They're going against some of their old foes that they did play against inside last season, which is going to be previously known as Team Enix, but only 2 of them actually have moved on, which is going to be Mac and Madman. Madman, of course, being the MVP from last season. And then you do also have Juggers, Tank, and Meads, all very respectable players. You know, Challenger League experience there as well with the majority of them. You know, a big team to definitely try and challenge for that playoff potential, or maybe if they can go all the way, go ahead and take that top 2 spot, which at the moment it is going to be Guidance Gaming sitting there right up at the top. The only way that I believe yet, even after this match, if Unnamed go ahead and win, they will still be sat at the top of the leaderboard, so Guidance Gaming already being that 2-point lead, potentially.
It's going to be a basement defense here coming out on Oregon for the first time, and it is Wind and Rain setting up for that. Let's see where Unnamed goes. Unnamed have already got access very easily into the building here. Not faced much as they head through the kitchen area. So they have the immediate overhead. Do have to be scared of Vigil though. Vigil is one of those operators that you always have to be aware of. He will be around on the map. And when he activates his perk, he'll be able to slip by a lot of those surveillance tools that the Unnamed roster have available to them.
First Logic Bomb will also be dispensed by the players of Unnamed. That is going to be kind of the substitute for the Lion that potentially could have been used, but certainly Dokkaebi still has that universal effect, which is kind of, you know, that similar wavelength of the way Lion plays out. Certainly Melons can provide, you know, a lot of damage if you know, the drones are not going to be sent in by the players of Unnamed, who are taking a very long time to actually set up their breach in towards the meeting hall. Typically we see that done a little bit faster, but again, at their own pace.
Yeah, here comes the breach now. Vigil, Melons just waiting for that pick. He has got an angle held there as Juggernaut picks up the first kill onto Pat. There's the shot, and Vigil forced to move very quickly as Melons goes down to tank Ninjas. And now Juggernaut as well, moving forward and further into this this matchup as Wind and Rain have already lost 2. Meads now into that basement area. Has that Blackbeard entry, so we'll have that shield to provide a little bit extra protection for him as he does. Dowie now just with the C4 looking to try and pick up a quick kill.
Gig also has the majority of his gas casters available. First one, I believe, will be cooked and fired out. See if those toxic babes can try and delay the round just that little bit more. Also C4 being ready to be tossed out by Dowie as well. But still 50 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for Unnamed to work with, especially whenever 3 players are only going to be that stands in front of them for the defuse. You can see the gas caster will be baited out by Mac very smartly. They know how much time they have. However, Gig will respond with a kill onto Tank Ninjas. They know exactly where he is. If only Madman would potentially get a fry cooked, then that would be a very simple kill for him.
Now 4 versus 3. Hibana now moving into the basement. 22 seconds to go. Plenty of strong defense there as Madman gets a kill onto Gigski. He's now going to try and take the angle here. And again, Madman reads it so well. Gets a 2-4 looking for the third. Madman gets the third! And that is another big clutch mark. MVP of the previous season. And the first win on the board goes over to Unnamed. Just read that so well, Madman did.
Yeah, you're expecting that from your main entry fragger in the form of a sledge. Didn't really do much entry work, but still came in big whenever he needed to be, and it does put off things right for Unnamed. And looking at Wind and Rain, wow, they are going very, very cocky with a rear stage and big tower defense from them. I'm interested to see what kind of prep these guys have done with this. Wind and Rain, they also have a coach and an analyst backing them up inside of their campaign, so potentially they could do a big bit of work for this team and help them out.
This is the first time that we've seen a tower defense at all on Oregon so far today. It's one that's been avoided by most teams. It is has its difficulties. You know, there are lots of ways to get into tower. Obviously, very few ways from the main building to move into that position, but scaling from the outside, it's so easy to get those window entries as well, because it's such a small area for you to have to try and prepare. And there isn't really many other sort of defense points that you have apart from directly on tower itself. Meeting room is obviously a big one, but we'll have to see how this pans out for them. This is the first time we've seen this defense operated here for Wind and Rain, or by any team today on Oregon. How does this usually shape out?
Well, at the minute, Wind and Rain going all in with their extended holds. Not just the big tower and rear watch stage will be defended, but also the top of the attic in towards those bedroom areas and also in towards the kitchen. So pretty much, I would say at least 70% of the map is going to be defended by the players of Wind and Rain. This is really overextending yourself, potentially a little too much for my liking, as it would be very simple for the players of Unnamed to simply go for the big tower attack, enter in through the rear stage and really play those window games. And as you can see, everybody's going to be scattered around the majority of these anchor positions that they will be holding. this is going to be a bit of a rough one for Wind and Rain because they're really singling themselves out to not really have that refrag potential where if you're going to work as a roaming duo, you're kind of working as a two. If somebody dies, you then have the other teammate to follow up and get the refrag. By these guys playing just by themselves, they can be very susceptible by, you know, a potential push in from the Sophia on Juggernaut. Also, if you combo that with the drones and all of the intel that, of course, those Dokkaebi phone calls can provide, then yeah, that's going to look pretty scary for Wind and Rain.
First kill goes to the Tank Ninjas. He takes down Gigski, who's again picked off very early on into the round. Looks like a logic bomb's going out already here, and that's going to be the initial push that they need. That provides a bit of space now for the Unnamed roster to make a move. As Jugger gets picked off on the outside, Melons gets the pick onto Juggernauts there, but Meads trades very quickly a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, which keeps that man advantage in favor of Unnamed. Spreading very thin across the map is as Meads now looking for some of those angles.
Wind and Rain still very spread out in their defense. As you can see, Dawi has rotated himself back in towards the bomb site. Pat playing at the top tier at that big tower, and Speeds has took that mid floor, so it kind of, you know, 3 levels off defense, but then again, they don't have that same refrag potential where they are split off very, very much so to each other. With still plenty of time to go for Unnamed, they will start using that hard destruction that they have at their available. And then also you can see Madman really hasn't moved from the top of this attic roof, trying to find any picks that he potentially can. Almost finds out Pat, who was just going for an aggressive peek, but still all in favour of Unnamed, but maybe not so much as Dawi has picked up a kill onto Meads as he did peek in towards that meeting hall. Madman rotated, gets rid of the castle barricade quite easily and trying to look for the angles that, as you can see, Wind and Rain have opened up to try and use against them, but in this circumstance it more than likely will work against them.
Time's starting to tick down for Unnamed. They still have a 3-3 at this point in time. Madman still trying to hold these angles, gives his position away. You can see Wind and Rain roster do know where he is at this point in time. He's going to peek, he gets the leg shot there, but not quite able to convert, and immediately now has that position on the bomb site, so the defuse can come down. There's another
Attackers activating defuse.
Another logic bomb going down there, and now that gives the opportunity to, as another climb through the window immediately into, as Mac and Madman help pick up the kill. Tank Ninjas also picks it off. Madman gets another, and that is going to be another win now for the Unnamed roster.
As you can see, just too many angles that the players of Unnamed, or should I say Wind and Rain, have to worry about. Is, you know, Unnamed, they had the crossfires, they had the man advantage, and just Wind and Rain just spreading themselves so thin where they cannot get that refrag potential, which was shown. Just really, I don't know why they're going so in-depth with their way they're trying to hold over towards the kids and also the kitchen, and then also the meeting, the attic. So many things that you need to try and defend for this that you just don't have enough utility, nor do you have the manpower really to take control of that. Sure, it may be something that they've worked on and it's worked in scrims, but I'm sure they probably haven't scrimmed on Unnamed too. Probably just seen the weak points inside of that defense and they took full advantage of it.
We use this downtime going into the next round to just highlight something from the previous series. I think I forgot to mention it before we came in. A lot of people were sending in messages about the rule set and whether you could sub someone in during a game. And a lot of people quoting the Pro League rule set, which is not the rule set that the Premiership uses. It is very, very okay. It's completely within the rules to sub in someone into your roster if they're a registered sub for your team at any point during a match. So that was a legal sub to make in the previous game, although it did end up in a draw anyway, regardless. Just wanted to clarify that for anybody in Twitch chat and the rest of the people that were commenting and asking why that there was sort of against the rules. It was not against the rules, different rule book for the Premiership compared to the Pro League.
So moving on into another defense for Wind and Rain, going to opt for that downstairs once more. Last time it just didn't work for them. The players of Unnamed were able to get the picks and just kind of just scavenge anything they could, and then in the final couple of dying seconds of the round, Madman performed very big for them. We'll see if it will be the kind of similar story for Wind and Rain, or will they finally, you know, get their head out of the sand and kind of front up against this Unnamed force who are very strong and very aggressive. You can see, you know, the power that Dokkaebi has in combination with the drones, and whenever you have very strong fraggers following up on that, then it is extremely hard for even the defense to get a look in to actually win one.
Right now, Unnamed have looked like the better roster on the attack here. Wind and Rain have really been strong. That tower defense didn't really work in their favor. They have now switched back to the basement, it looks like. Something that almost worked out for them. Again, a Madman clutch kind of sealed that one out, and he has been a really standout player for Unnamed. Again, I mean, you would expect, but he's been good. I mean, to be good across both Xbox and PC at that same kind of level, really solid. I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy go towards Challenger or Pro League in the future. He's got a bright future ahead of him in Rainbow Six especially.
So it seems to be that Unnamed aren't really interested in taking the fight all too soon. Still, plenty of players upstairs for Wind and Rain. Only the Smoke and Maestro on the actual hard anchor positions. Pat upstairs and Attic can play very aggressive on the drop hatch. Also can Bandit trick any potential X-Kairos pellets that Mac may want to use. I believe it's going to be, you know, really one of the first games where we haven't seen Thermite being picked very religiously. Instead, Habana is certainly going to be that option that Unnamed they're going to try and opt for. They will instead try and ignore the rumors as much as they can. First Logic Bomb will be deployed, and you can see the follow-up ready to be applied by these members of Unnamed, but still just holding their grounds. As you can see, what I was talking about with that mute trick will try and be established, but then again, Maids can easily pick that. Mac has been down, peeking that angle. Melons manages to land the down, but that's all he really can do. Gives himself an out with that drop hatch, but still plenty of time for Unnamed to make this push work, bait out all of the utility, and potentially get a couple of picks as well.
Wind and Rain have been a bit more solid in the defense this time around, haven't given away anything too early, which has been one of their problems, especially for Gigski. He's unfortunately been one of the follies, although I say that Melons goes down immediately, the Vigil goes down, and suddenly the roam potential, the worry, the always looking behind your shoulder, that's now gone for Unnamed. They can be a bit more aggressive and a bit more forward in their pressure, although a lot of damage has been done. As Gigski actually trades back to Madman, that's a big trade up actually, just in given performance, and Gigski actually picks up a 2-4 in this situation, which is a massive, as I was just talking about him. And suddenly Wind and Rain put themselves in a really solid position as Unnamed actually take it down to a 2-for-2. In all this time, I actually don't know how this happened. All this time, Tank Ninjas has managed to pick off member after member. The Diffuser has ended up going down, and now it is a 1 versus 2 with about 5% HP. This does not look good for Wind and Rain. Angles are being covered from the upstairs here, right onto that Diffuser bomb site. I really feel like this is going to be difficult for Dowie to do.
Yeah, that's why I said where they had plenty of time to bait out all of the utility. Sure, they lose a couple of members in it, but eventually all of that displacement that the players do have available for themselves, and Tank, another kill for him, playing so big on the Dokkaebi, cover the flank rotations from Pat, who I actually thought was going to come in pretty big there, but no. Dokkaebi had the angles, they knew that potentially a flank could have been coming out, they were right with their feelings. And then Wind and Rain just back into the ditch they go, just Unnamed, leaving them for dead really. There's nothing that Wind and Rain can really do to break through this. It was very, very close, but like I said, the utility ran out and just everything kind of ran out for Wind and Rain. The steam just started to fall back, and Unnamed, they picked up the pace, and really from there it was game, set, and watch the diffuser.
I felt that that was a chance for Wind and Rain. I felt that there was a real chance for them in that situation. They looked like they'd managed to trade up a couple of times, a couple of 2-4s in the early game, but unfortunately they weren't able to get past the pressure from Tank Ninja and that Dokkaebi. Reveal phase comes through. Let's see if there are any changes. Madman looks like he's changed over to Ying, who has been another popular ban on the attacking side. And Ying coming through this time round to give them some entry pressure.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
And not that they need it, they've been doing pretty well without needing the extra entry pressure so far. And those Candelas will start to have a lot of zone control, especially on Kids Dorm, where there are limited areas to find those entries. Those Candelas can help find that initial breach point.
So I would imagine that Unnamed will try and play this, you know, just kind of their play style. They have the Blackbeard, which can be very good in that main double window to try and deny all of those rotation accesses to the defense of Wind and Rain. They seem to be going for more of an aggressive play style, as you can see, trying to hold that kitchen away from potentially a butt could come in and really devastate the majority of that vertical flooring. But no, as you can see, Unnamed, no butt for them, but still Wind and Rain, this provides them with that kind of rotation potential, can really opt a lot of changes for them, can also use that bailiff that Maestro has, or even the shotgun that also Smoke brings to the table to open up those vertical sight lines, right below of those kids' bedroom window, try and deny the access in terms of that position. As you can see, Jugger trying to see if he can find an angle through in towards the dining, but no, doesn't see anything. Tries to get the Claymore prep for a potential run out, so this definitely does scream a big tower, and these kids' windows is what the players of Unnamed are going to try and opt for. So Speed still has those, you know, that Maestro available, so he can provide a lot of intel for any potential Candelas. Can be very good, because you can't flash the camera, of course. You can only just sit there and watch everything happen from that bulletproof camera. Mac doing a bit of droning as well as kind of the first stage for Unnamed. Figure out where the majority of the defense will be, and certainly it will be in that downstairs area.
Slower pace this time right now for Unnamed. And again, no one, I think it looks like Wind and Rain are improving round upon round. No one giving away early kills. Just trying to shore up that first minute, which is really important because in the first minute they often had someone that's too far out of position. Their roamer often getting picked off very early. And once that roamer goes down, especially on defense, you lose a lot of that ability to find flanks. You can see those nades coming in as actually, that was a really awkward time there. The grenade dropped right in front, and that is, what the hell has actually happened? Suddenly the entire team got cleaned up. I was literally talking, and in the space of 3 words, they destroyed the entire team of one Candela. What on earth was that?
Well, that's just the strength that Dokkaebi and Ying bring to the table. That's why I said the crossfires were going to be established. Mac outside the double window, ready for anybody to try and run away from the kid's bedroom. That was exactly the case. Candelas come in, you as a defender start to panic, you run anywhere that you think is safe, but no, the angle's being held, and certainly, look at that, Tank Ninjas and Madman both on 7 kills, 4-0 Unnamed lead against Wind and Rain with 1 more round to see if at least Wind and Rain can salvage something out of these horrific defenses.
They have not been good. That is absolutely 100% correct. But that was an absolute bloodbath in the previous round. It's almost like I didn't even see what was happening before it was too late. I mean, if it caught me off guard, I'm sure as it stood, it caught Wind and Rain off guard. Vigil comes through for Melons again, but he has not been that good on Vigil so far. Has really limited roaming potential. Hasn't really been able to catch anybody from Unnamed off. And this is the final attacking round for Unnamed. Can they go into their defensive rounds needing just one defensive victory to take this win?
So it will be one final hurrah for Wind and Rain on that bottom floor. They kind of have the same similar setup that they did have last time. I believe that they have switched out Pat from the Bandit onto those goo mines with the Legion, so providing that more of that, you know, kind of crowd control effect and that kind of sound cue and trigger that you can work with. But certainly losing the lack of bandits does make it a lot easier for a player like Mac to open up in towards the top of that attic area. Doesn't have to worry about the bandit trick. Speed still, you know, religiously picking this Maestro for good reason. Maestro very, very strong, especially whenever you're going against Dokkaebi, who can play very, very big with, you know, some of the smoke casters as well. Not really, you know, the heavy smoke that we're seeing from Unnamed. You know, Glass is still available for them, and equally so is Wind and Rain, but neither team really, I would expect, to go for that kind of Glass mentality that we did see, I would say, Vex and M&M really go for.
This is the pressure on Wind and Rain right now in this situation. You have to be so careful. Actually, looks like Vigil has pushed a little bit further back from his usual position in meeting room. He was a little bit further forward previously. He's actually going to move back to that forward position. This is where he gets caught out quite a lot. He's just looking for anybody that's going to overstep from that tower entry point into the meeting room.
Pat still has these goo mines available, can keep redeploying them as he does get 7 at least on the map before it does, you know, start destroying ones that you've placed down. That's the maximum goo mines you can have in one map. You can see the players of Unnamed just completely covering every single potential angle off that lobby area made to get rid of the mute jammer, exactly the same way he did last time. The Maestro camera will be able to spot him out, but really, who is going to pick the Blackbeard? I highly doubt anybody from Wind and Rain will actually do so. This is kind of where the lack of the Mira comes into big effect for the Laundry. You don't have that same crowd control effect where you can always see anybody who does go for the peek, but Mades, he will peek and he picks up the kill onto Smoke, a massive kill. So the only denial that the players of Wind and Rain will have is going to be that Nitro Cell from Dow, and that can only be used as a one-time thing.
Mad has picked up a little bit of information from some scouting here. He's shooting into what looks to be the supply closet, where I think a couple of members from Wind and Rain were trapped just earlier. There's the frag going in. Is he going to pick up the frag there? Doesn't quite get it, but Pat manages to trade back onto Max, so it's a 4 versus 4 situation right now. 1 minute to go. There is no pressure for Unnamed to rush in here. They are using that hatch. Oh, right in front right in front, and Speeds picks up Madman. That was an opportunity to trade back 1-for-1, though. It does not happen. But the angle's still being covered really well here. A couple of shots do land, but they don't convert. And Pat manages to escape from that situation basically scot-free.
Pat should never have escaped from that location. I don't even know how he was allowed to walk towards the stairs and kill Mac in that scenario. And the punish was not there from Unnamed. That will pretty much cost them this round. They will at least attempt to go for the platform. I'm sure Pat will easily sneak his way in, but he will be covered from the hatch. Melons goes down from potential flank. Jugger, he finally picks up the kill onto Pat, and Mead squares it off into basically a 1 versus 3. Tank down to extremely low HP, down to 1 HP should we say. Mead holding the angle, Jugger still upstairs along with Tank. It comes down to Down, he will meet the end of Jugger as well. I don't know how Unnamed have won that round. I'm sure Wind and Rain don't know how either. And wow, we go to round number 6, and it will be match point as we've seen the clean sweep of attacks from Unnamed.
That was some really solid smokes coming out there. Texani has been banned by BattlEye. Feels bad, man.
Poor Texani.
Poor Texani. That's what you get, mate.
Justice for Texani, chat. Hashtag justice for Texani.
I know, mate. You shouldn't be using cheats, BattlEye. It's going to get you.
Yeah, get good, bro.
I thought someone from the game had been banned there, so I was like, oh, that's awkward.
That is, it's a big oof.
I love how you get this instant feedback thing, like, oh, don't worry, guys, we've just banned this guy, so your games are just a little bit safer now, you know. But I think it was some really good smokes coming out from Tank Ninjas there to help him plant in that corner with the cover from the cover from the hatch that was in complete control from the first floor. Very little maneuvering that Wind and Rain could do, especially with those 2 perfect smokes, either side of supply closet, making angles that you had to peek through impossible for that moment. Yeah,
you can see really sectioning off Dow, who was trying to play inside of that cupboard, and then always blocking off that double doorway is always going to be the strong point, and it's fairly simple from Jugger to just watch underneath the stairs. Pat couldn't move in that scenario. I actually thought he would have, but no, it was not the case. And Unnamed, they do have now at least 5 defense rounds they can go to, but they could end that in just 1 more and send Wind and Rain home with a 6-0 defeat. Wind and Rain, they will be picking up the Ying and the Capiteos. This kind of tells me that they could be going for, the kids' bedroom window that we've seen Barrage go heavily for. Let's hope they don't fall into the same trap that Barrage went for and just kind of forced their way in without doing the basics right.
Objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
But this is the pressure that you have on the attacking round now. If one member gets picked off sillily, on the outside, gets picked off by a defender roaming, that's going to create a bit of tension in the team. You need to be so careful on your offense. You can't take as many risks now because you know that one risk that might end up losing you a member and giving the man advantage over the defensive squad means a man advantage that could lose you the entire series here. That is it. That is the pick you don't want to see. Madman bursts out the window, picks a kill on the side, and Wind and Rain down to 4 men.
I must say a round of applause for Madman. He could hear Pat run right past his window and then just wait a couple of seconds, got the easy kill, and then kind of from there, Wind and Rain at the back foot, losing their Ying.
That is a massive tool out the window now. Those Candelas are such great entry tools. Capitao on the roof here, trying to do his best, and it's an uphill battle for Wind and Rain, you feel, at this point in time. They'll have to be catching some people out of position as Capitao jumps down onto connector roof.
Yeah, it seems to be that Wind and Rain, they're kind of looking for this master bedroom. It's once they lose that Ying on the Candelas, it kind of just nullifies the effect of that potential kid's bedroom push. Dowie playing very aggressive in towards that connector. Has to be careful that potentially Jugger could rotate on up towards the big tower, get the easiest kill of the game, I would say, onto him. Mac also on the smoke will have to play pretty quick in this scenario. This is a great position for the smoke. Has the shock on the blast, very close range, and also could deny the plant, as we know, with those gas canisters. Madman looking for the rope, shoots a drone. Does he see Melons on the stairs? He does, but misses the shots. And Jugger, like I said, gets that flank onto Dowie. Looking for another one. Does he land the shots? He hits a couple, but is not going to be enough to finish off Melons.
Melons so low, already taking a lot of damage. Madman there as well, but it is a 5 versus 3 situation. It looks like the jaws are starting to close in. Tower into meeting hall is where Wind and Rain are trying to move, but they have just 40 seconds to play with here. And Tank Ninja's now also looking for a roam, moving back up towards that second floor. He does get picked off by Gigski there, but at least they know exactly where they are. And Gigski picks off 2, picks up to Madman. It's now a 3 versus 3 situation. Capital does go down to the smoke, but the diffuser has been planted. 3 versus 1. Speeds now versus the world. Mac, Juggernaut, and Meads there. He does get his first kill. Doesn't get his second as he gets knocked off by Meads. And that will be it. That will be Unnamed. 6-0 versus Wind and Rain.
Well, another clean sweep that we have seen. Well, what really can you say about that? Unnamed just being the dominating factor against, you know, Wind and Rain just not up to snuff at all. And I'm sure Wind and Rain probably just thinking about, you know, just singing along to themselves, you know, trying to get there, think happy thoughts.
Always looking the bright side of life,
you know,
that kind
yeah,
of thing,
you know, could be thinking about country roads as well, chat, you know, take me home. Something like that. You guys finish the rest.
I think, you know, in that situation, you need to stick to your convictions. I said at the very start, you said this was going to be a 6-0. It just happened to be. He didn't want to commit to it to not hurt anyone's feelings, but it was a 6-0.
I knew it was going to happen.
It was a 6-0,
you know.
and that was Unnamed looking really strong.
Yeah.
They came off a draw, I believe, last week, which
they did with Barrage
at 4 points now in total. So I believe we will eventually get an updated scoreboard here, so we can have a look at the results at the end of today. But that is the conclusion of our Rainbow Six Premiership night here on the second week. A very quick one, actually. Lots of quick games. The only one going to tell a full 10 rounds was our previous one, which we said would be the closest game of the night. It was, and it went all the way to a draw despite the sub-in of G2 Pengu. So to reiterate what you have seen in terms of results tonight already, we had a 6-0 by Secret. We had a 6-3 win for, I believe, Vexed? No, 6-3 win for... Help me out here.
Guidance.
Guidance. I always forget those guys. And it was a 5-5 between M&M and Vexed, and as you just saw, there was 6-0 for Unnamed. Guidance. I always want to say Guardians. Can they? They're
top of the league, you know?
I know, they are top of the league. They have got 2 wins under their belt. And these are the results that you see. I could have just waited for the schedule to come up, and I could have done it without really sort of struggling to remember. I'm getting old now, though, Demo, so my memory is failing me ever so slightly. But those are the results at the end of week 2, and that will shift our leaderboard round just a little bit. But M&M, like we said, whilst the 2 points that they have might not look great, they have ended up putting themselves with draws against the best teams in the league. And now they have got to face up against Horizon, Barrage, Wind and Rain, Unnamed, and Guidance. Now, they might struggle with Unnamed and Guidance, there might be some potential there, but you should find them getting wins across the rest, which will put them in a good spot for contention. And this is your leaderboard. Guidance at the top, Team Secret, Unnamed, Vexed, all tied second. M&M there in the middle with 2 draws. Barrage with a draw and a loss, and Horizon and Wind and Rain yet to find a win. Yeah,
just kind of what I was expecting. Horizon, Wind and Rain right down there at the bottom. Often you can really say that they, you know, did really well. Just complete stomp by Team Secret and Unnamed quite respectively, and certainly Guidance game in the team, which I kind of fancied being that kind of dark horse slot. We don't really know how they do in terms of their first kind of, you know, competitive league. Secret didn't expect the draw, but they're still up there nonetheless, and Unnamed, you know, they have that experience, and certainly Vexed, even with them losing that, you know, I would say definitely a potential win from them. Still take away the draw, still sitting up there top 4, and M&M really happy, I would say, that they're with, you know, getting a draw between 2 of the best teams there in the league. And then Barrage, at least, you know, they tried their best.
They tried their best. Now, that rounds out our evening of Rainbow Six action. However, we have a few things to cover before we go. If you're interested and want to check out our website, the link is down below, esl.im/Rainbow Six Winter. It has all the latest updates on the Prem scores, as well as lots of the cool little features, so make sure you go and check that out, guys. Actually, I will buy you a virtual cookie if you go and put that into your Chrome bar and just enter it now. I'm not going to buy you a virtual cookie, but I thought I'd try. Thank you very much for watching tonight, but also a big thanks to our sponsors. We are powered by Intel and Gaming from Curry's PC World, but also we have a host of other sponsors. A loaf of sponsors. That's a good one. I'm going to go for that one. We have a loaf of sponsors that bake the wonderful bread that is the ESL Premiership, including AOC, Pace Safeguard, Logitech, and Need for Seat. So thank you to all of you guys. We would not be here if it weren't for your support. I've been Scoundrel, I've been a bit of a meme, but Demo has not been. He has been fantastic as usual, and for now, we'll bid you good night.
box. Stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No.
Oh my. Oh.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.